a second. Why do we have volume? Look at it now.
It's still catching up.
Are kids moving?
Closing in.
I'm in a reduced quality. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, our first year was Sealsboro State Championship year, 2009.
Oh, wow.
That was our first year. Kind of crazy.
Hey, that
Testing, testing, testing. More? Right there's good? Okay.
This is certainly an extreme energy and excitement here at Milton for Milton football. That's because the Black Panthers come in at 3-1 because one of the more surprising victories so far this season behind the tough running of Chris Doyle and a defense that held a high-octane offense bottled up. Milton walked out of Alumni Field a week ago with a hard-earned 12-7 win over the Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes. It was their first win against Mount Carmel in 14 tries. Hello, this is Pat O'Brien, and welcome to From the of Milton football. I'll be joined by my partner, Milton. Their season over to South Williamsport 14-0. Into 3 wins, Milton's defense allowed just 20 points, pitched a shutout versus Towanda, and last week's win, Doyle finished with 156 yards behind the play of a dominating offensive line. As they welcome Ryan into the conversation, Milton's first-year head coach Kurt Zettelmohr described the play of his offensive line as simply phenomenal, and it showed as Chris Doyle went for that 156 yards against a very good Mount Carmel team.
Well, Pat, before I even get into any of that, welcome to the booth, baby. And for those that are listening and do not know, I covered Selinsgrove football with Pat for 10 years on Eagle 107. Thanks to Sunbury Broadcasting, Roger Haddon, Kevin Herr for all the stuff they did and gave me opportunity. And Pat teaching me the ways of the radio. And with Selinsgrove playing tomorrow night, and you're in your 15th season now at Selinsgrove, amazing. 25th year broadcasting high school football. And things because you are the man. Super excited to have you here tonight, man.
It's a beautiful night for high school football, no doubt about it. Beautiful setup here at Alumni Field, and I can't wait to get an opportunity to see Chris Doyle and that offensive line dominating Mark Carmel a week ago. They're going to have that opportunity to get that on display here.
You and tell everyone how great you are, which you are. Chris Doyle's great too. He's just a heck of an athlete, and yard game. Injury his sophomore year, but he is back as a junior, and he is bad, going over 150 yards this week. A great performance he had against. But this dude's the real deal. He's not just a power back, and he is a power back. He's built well for a high school. But man, he's light on his toes. He can move, patient. He finds the holes, and he just can exploit anything. And you'll see it tonight, and we saw it last week. So I expect big things out of him tonight, and he's going to be a major pain for this Holy Redeemer team.
Well, then you flip to the defensive side, all levels. Rely on team speed and guys getting to the ball, which was a huge factor in the win a week ago, but also season long. They're only 18-0 loss to open up the season. They weren't at full tilt that. But even though the South team to just 14, this defense has played at a high level.
Well, their defense was on the field week 1, the entire game basically. So they played a ton and still held a very good South team. But this defense, I've watched the growth now over the years. And one thing that I've noticed, covering high school football for so long is all the good teams play downhill. It's like when they're on defense, they're falling downhill when they're going to the ball. My first couple years here, Milton really struggled, and they didn't have that overall defense falling downhill. But it started to come little bit by little bit, and last week, that was it. They were downhill the whole game. Goodwin, Rarick, Minium, so many. I hate to leave guys out. You can name them all. Every single player, Diddy, every player on the field for them last week was just flying to the ball downhill, and there was no slowing up. The only from moving was when they ran into a Mount Carmel player with the ball, and they blew things up. So I just hope that this continues to grow, and if their defense can play with that energy, with that toughness, with that mentality, it's going to make things so much easier for the offense, which is already rolling pretty nice, especially the run game. And if they can keep that going and keep building on that, they're going to be a very scary team as the season goes on.
Now, the one thing you worry here, track game. You had a big win a week ago. You're playing a team that you are heavily favored at home. You got the energy, the excitement. What was the focus like leading up to this week is always in question. And Coach Zettelmoyer explained it was how exciting the game was, and it was exciting for the boys, but he talked about how importantly it was for the community to come together. But he did stress about senior leadership being the focus this week and keeping his guys focused on the long-term goal. And right now, it is the short-term goal, and that is to beat a Holy Redeemer team that are going to come in as heavy favorites.
Well, after the game last week, I went up to Coach Zettelmoyer, and I gave him the fist bump, and I was like, that was a great game. You should have seen the smile on his face and how good he felt about his team and what those guys were able to accomplish. And then, what do you know, I texted him, I think Tuesday, I sent him some of this, there was a tweet about something and just talking about how well Milton's doing. I wanted to share it with him, and I said, good job, Coach, keep it going. And he responded, we just need to keep these guys focused. So you're 100% right, Pat. It's all about the focus. You feel talking down with Coach. We had Minium down there, and who
talked to Berge up here?
Berge. Agreed. Now,
Head coach Dwayne Dowling, who left after a work obligation. Dowling, which I found to be amazing, was a cornerback at Penn State on the 1986 National Championship squad. Coached the Royals for 3 seasons. Now, Kelly was on his staff and also on Coach Dennis's staff at Holy Redeemer. Kelly has spent plenty of time in the area. He played in high school at Berwick and at King's College as a linebacker. So you bring a guy on that was on the roster with someone with a credential as Downing, who played at Penn State and was part of National Championship team. But also, like I say, you got Kelly coming in, played at Berwick, and you know the tradition there, and then played at King's College in a Division III level. So he brings credentials, and he's trying to build this program.
I mean, anytime you have a guy that's played in college, you're getting a guy with experience that, I know nothing about. I played some high school football, but, the education, the jump, the field, the extra years, the extra weight room, all that stuff. You bring that knowledge and experience into a high school program, and if you can get the kids to buy in, you're going to get better. And honestly, that's what's going to happen. And last year, Holy Redeemer, they struggled. It wasn't the greatest season ever, but they showed some things last year, especially throw the ball. A little bit down compared to last year probably, but they still can throw the ball around quite a bit. They do have some athletes, but he's at the point of building a program. They're a very young school. What was their existence? They came in 2007? Yep, 2007. So they haven't been around more than 15 years now. So they're in an early process of being an expansion team, if I can call them that. And, just a matter of time until, if you can keep good coaches there and they continue at it, you'll get the result.
There are going to be about 28 guys that are dressed establish some numbers. You talked about last year, they lose their quarterback, Jake Hunter, who a year ago, 16 for 28, 236 yards, had 2 touchdowns. The team only rushed for 57 yards. Receiving-wise, Zach Perda, he had 7 catches for 176 yards and 2 touchdowns. And his fourth quarter touchdowns. That. But as we talked to the coach, and you mentioned already, and you hear from the media of Holy Redeemer, they are going to throw the ball. That's going to be their bread and butter. And you talk to some of the defensive back coaches down there on the field, and they know that their defensive backs are going to be tested here, and they're hoping for some big plays from their defensive backs.
I mean, they're going to have to, because Milton last week did a nice job throwing the ball around. So both sides of the ball, defensive backs, they're gonna have to be ready. Now Milton was very efficient last year. Their best.
10 carries for 32 yards. So the fact that you could hold those two explosive guys to less than 70 yards, between them, less than 102 yards. Again, just going back to saying how well this defense is playing.
Yeah, I mean.
You ready?
Music or just guys? Want me to do music?
Milton's 1-4 in Week 5 games over the past 5 years, outscored 196 to just 95. Losses to Lewisburg, Danville, Shamokin, and Central Mountain. They look to change that tonight against the Holy Redeemer Royals. Well, how did the teams get to where they are at this point as we move into week 5? First, you look at the Royals. They started out the loss to Susquehanna 49-0. Then they were at Holy Cross and lost 20-12. They took on Tunkhannock and lost 35-0 before losing a week ago to Lake Lehman, and they lost 43-19. After tonight, they'll have Hanover area, and then they have Wyoming area, Greater Nanticoke, at Pittston, and at Montrose. So they come in at 0-4, looking to get their first win of the season. For the Milton Black Panthers, started out the season with a 14-0 loss to South Williamsport before shutting out Towanda 27-0. Then they beat Midwest 57-13 before last week's win when they beat Mount Carmel 12-7. Milton comes in tonight scoring 24 points per game, giving up just 7.5 points per game. When you look at the Royals, only scoring 7.7 points per game while giving up 36.7 points per game. I give a lot of credit to these Royals coming down and play the Milton Black Panthers. My thought, Ryan, is when the Royals set up to play Milton, when they probably did it back in 2019, 20, thinking to come down and compete against a Milton team, the program wasn't where they wanted to be. Little did they know they would be competing against Milton and probably maybe their best back-to-back opportunities, back-to-back seasons after going 9-2 a year ago and off to a 3-1 start. They're thinking we might have wanted to readjust this. Milton's playing well.
It's so funny you say that because I was thinking the same thing earlier. It's like when they probably look at their schedule, because, they play a lot of Quad A teams. They have a 5A team in there. They were probably looking like our best chance at a win, or maybe our quote-unquote easiest win, is probably going to be Milton the last 2 years. Not the case. They just didn't know Milton had something up the sleeve. Milton knew the troops were coming, and they're here. And they've played really well, handling Holy Redeemer last year, and then here you go. Still, when you look at this schedule, it's a really, really tough schedule they have this year. Milton, I don't know if they go 500 if they play this schedule. They have to play really good ball. Too many big schools there. So, a young program is Holy Redeemer, but they are not playing a young program schedule by any means.
You look at what their 2 games against Milton, as we mentioned back in 2021, where the team rushed for 372 yards. You talked about it. Doyle, 31 carries, 272 yards. He was 8.8 yards per rush. As we're going to take some time here for the national anthem. Get ready for the opening kickoff. Milton and Holy Redeemer. When you hear the national anthem, we're just moments away from getting this one started here at Alumni Field. Again, we were taking a look at the win 2 years ago for the Milton Black Panthers over the Royals when Doyle went for 272 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 8.8 yards per rush. Xavier Midium had 3 rushing touchdowns on only 8 carries. And the defense came up with 3 fumble recoveries back in 2021. In the 2022 game, Cale Bastian, 7 for 9, 195 yards and 2 touchdowns. The team rushed 23 times for 251 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bastian had 7 carries for 118 yards and a touchdown. Fine-tuning that run game, balancing it with some pass, but tonight I think the focus for Milton will be majority on what we've seen the last 2 years. Run the ball and get that offensive line going. The offensive line, as you heard Coach Zettelmoyer talk about in the press this week, They played phenomenal last week against a very good Mount Carmel team. You want to keep that momentum going.
I mean, when you look at Bastion's stats, they don't blow you out of the water by any means, but he has been very efficient, and they've picked great times to throw the ball. When you're running the ball as well as they are with Chris Doyle, you don't need to pass so much until somebody says, all right, we're going to pack the box and we'll see what you can do and throw. Why throw? And even when they're packing the box, Milton's getting yards. They're getting the job done running the ball. So, Bastion is plenty capable to have in a game as many yards as he probably has on the season right now. And it's just one of those things, until they need to do it, we're probably not going to see it. But he's definitely capable of throwing the ball around. Saw a nice long pass to Monty Fisher last week for a touchdown. So he's shown the ability to throw deep. We've seen his ability to throw short. And where he's really dangerous as a quarterback is with his legs. He can run. Last year we saw a lot of running out of him and Xavier Minium. This year we're not seeing so much running out of Bastion. You can see the maturity, and he's deciding to maybe try and make the throw more than he is the tuck and run. And I also don't believe the coaching staff, and it's a new coaching staff, but it's not completely new. It's a lot of the same guys. They've gotten away a little bit from the 10, 15 designed carries a game for Bastion this year as they did the year before. Very versatile athlete, and it'll be interesting to see, in a game where they have to throw the ball more, what ends up happening from the arm of Bastion.
We look at some spotlight players for the Royals, and quarterback Thomas Dugan comes in tonight, 26 completion on 67 attempts, only 336 yards. He has 3 TDs, but also 8 interceptions. His number one target, Zabierski, 9 reception, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So we know when Dugan drops back, Zabierski is where he's going to look to throw the ball. Now, what they're trying to replace from a couple years ago is Jake Hunter, who threw for 253 yards and 2 touchdowns against Milton, while Justin Schultz had 6 catches, 145 yards, and 2 scores, and the Royals lost to the Milton Black Panthers 30-12.
And when I hear the passing attempt stats and how much they're throwing the ball around, it makes me wonder. Is it because of their trailing in the game? Is it because they run the ball, they get a loss, they put themselves in 2nd and long, 3rd and long? Or is it because the offensive line is just not that type of offensive line that can get the push, create the openings for the run? Maybe they're a little better with that drop step, hands out, and protecting the quarterback. I can tell you this, if they're having some issues on the offensive line, they're in trouble tonight, because Mount Carmel has a very good offensive line, big boys up there, and Milton handled them last week. So we'll see if this is just the style of ball they're playing, if it's just because they get themselves down quick, or if it's because they're afraid of the run blocking aspect of their offense. Maybe it's not very strong for them. But if that's the case, they're in a lot of trouble tonight.
And we know the Royals are adjusting to some guys who graduated. I mean, we already mentioned about Jacob Hunter. He finished 132 completions on 260 attempts for 2,237 yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 picks, and also ran for 479 touchdowns. That's in a team that went 4-7. They scored points. They couldn't stop them defensively. So that's also an adjustment. You wonder week 5, you're a little further into the season. Some of that stuff's happened a little more cleanly. I know they're 0-4, but this is still a team that in the passing game could be coming along. They've had to replace a guy that threw for 2,200 yards.
How many players can you think of in the last 15 years, Central PA, that have thrown for those kind of numbers? I would think of like Musina and Montoursville maybe.
Yep.
Logan Leiby. I mean, he's like number 3 all time in Pennsylvania. He's done it. But outside of that, I mean, the kid at Mifflinburg, which is not even a quarterback now his senior year, I think he's got some shoulder issues. I don't know what he reached last year, Dressler, but those are crazy numbers for a quarterback. And what a void to fill, for this new guy in here this year to try and fill those shoes. And what are the chances that you've got back-to-back quarterbacks with that capability? And again, doing it against the type of teams they're playing on their schedule. That must have been one heck of a quarterback. I'm sure they're really missing him, and maybe they're trying to instill the things that the backup quarterback for him is, and now starter. Maybe they're trying to instill those things in him, and that's why they're throwing the ball a little bit more. I think too, a team that throws the ball a lot, they're more scary. they're more scary because you get a lot of one-on-ones in high school football. It's not very often like in the pros where you have the zone coverage over top with the safeties. So, I mean, to me, I think passing the ball probably would be a good scheme for them tonight. I think they're going to have a tough time running the ball.
I'm Pat O'Brien. This is Ryan Brandt. We're bringing you Milton football from the booth from Alumni Stadium. As we talk about, we can feel the energy. Crowds building in. A lot of people coming still into Alumni Stadium as they are riding the momentum created by a 3-1 start by the Milton Black Panthers, including the 12-7 win a week ago. Think about what Royals did last year. Again, they went 4-7. They had 10 games where they scored 12 points or more, 7 games where they scored 18 points or more, and 5 where they scored almost 30 points or more. And they had 70 points against Holy Cross. They shut out Hanover 48-0. They had 5 games where they scored 74 or more combined points, them and the opponent. They scored 98, 95, 82, and 78, but the record was only 2-3 a year ago. Again, that's what they're losing. That's what they're trying to adjust to. They have the same coach back with Tyson Kelly. He has credential in terms of Berwick and also played at Kings. So getting numbers out and getting these kind of players to be able to continue to come out for the Royals is obviously on the docket for Coach Tyson Kelly, who played at Kings. Like I said, he was a 205-pound linebacker at 5'10", had 11 tackles in 2011. So he was on the field for Kings. Holy Redeemers, we talked about, just was created in 2007. So not had a winning season in their career or in their history, but, it's a time where they need to continue to build. They did end a 22-game losing streak in 2013 by beating Holy Cross 33-21. Heavily favored Milton Black Panthers, again, coming in tonight. You watch about the trap game, and I'll be curious to see how they prepare, because as you know, and coaches we've interviewed, it's not about Friday night. It's about what did they do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday getting ready for a Friday night game.
Yeah, and real quick, we forgot to mention we got a new stat guy tonight. We got my neighbor Bill Haas in the house. Bill is in the house, people. He is replacing Nate Babin. Nate Babin's out tonight, not feeling good. He's come down with, I believe, the Simp.
Ooh.
The Simp, yeah, if anyone knows what that is. But Bill's going to do a great job. Excited about that. But, yeah, Pat, 2-3 was a great start for them last year. That's kind of funny to say, but a great start for them. And, I don't want to dog this program. I mean, they're young. It's a young program, but they've had some good coaches in there with experience, like you had mentioned. And you got to think the years of the program having that type of mentality, having that experience as a coaching staff, you got to think that it's building and building. And, they also are in a situation where they're a school that's really more known for their basketball. They have had where they are in football, they're completely opposite in basketball. They've got a very strong basketball team and a great and a great youth program that they do there as well.
Well, Milton will get the opening kickoff to start this one, so we'll see Milton go on offense first if everything goes as planned. So we'll get to see Bastian, Doyle, Rierick first for the Milton Black Panthers, coming tonight at 3-1 and trying to ride the momentum from their 3-game win streak here tonight against the Holy Redeemer Royals.
I love these all-black uniforms.
And we are underway from the booth in Alumni Stadium. Short kick going to hit at the 16, picked off the turf at the 20, 25. Return man to the 35, and he's going to be just short of the 40-yard line. He give Milton great field position as a return by number 13 for the Milton Black Panthers, and that's Isaiah Minium. He's just a junior. Nice return, setting it up for Cale Bastian and the Milton Black Panthers.
Good field position to start the game all the way out, about the 38-yard line, Pat. So good kick return, special teams there. Isaiah Minium getting good yards, and special team coach, his dad, Nate Minium. So it's not surprising that he knows what to do.
As Rierick will split far to the right. They got 3 trips to the right this time for Milton. First down at 10, just underway. No score here from Alumni Stadium. Bastian takes the snap. He's looking to the right, gets it. It's going to be incomplete. Intended for the man in the flat that time, but it falls incomplete, as that was intended for Luke Goodwin. who's the senior at 6 foot 192, was open, unable to make the connection.
Well, there they go. They come out, pass right away. And actually, I don't believe they even attempted a pass to Goodwin, the tight end, last week. Doesn't mean Goodwin didn't have a great game, because on defense, he had to lead the team in tackles. He was all over the place, tackles for a loss, and just blowing things up. Very big game for him last week.
So 2nd down and 10. Now they're going to split 3 wide receivers to the left this time, short side of the field. Shotgun formation for Bastions. Give it to Doyle. Big hole, 2nd level, still going. He's got 10, 12, and he's going to be knocked out about 14, 15 on the carry that time for Doyle as he takes it off the left and gets it into Royal territory for the first time here tonight.
Well, nothing feels better than the first down of the game, especially when it comes off a run for the entire amount. So good start there for the running game, and Doyle, no surprise.
So first down of the night for either team. Puts the ball at the 46-yard line for the Milton Black Panthers. Rarick is to the right, going to go to Doyle. Again, 2nd level, caught at the 40. He'll be taken down at the 40-yard line. 6-yard carry that time for Doyle, just going right between the tackles.
Sometimes it's just that easy. I mean, the offensive line created a nice hole for Doyle there, and he just hits it, gets to the 2nd level. And, he's brought down, but not after picking up 6 yards on 1st down. And here you are, 2nd and 4. You've got every play, Pat, in your playbook that you can use right now.
Splitting far to the left this time is Fisher, Monty Fisher. Rarick will go to the right, 101 on the right-hand side. Some movement up front. Officials going to talk this over. Did Milton jump prior to the Royals jumping? And the way the body language say, we're going to walk this one back 5 yards. So it's going to set up a 2nd down and 9 for the Milton Black Panthers. Their first penalty of the night, as Bastion will get the call from the sideline and make his way back out to the huddle in this 2nd down and 9.
We didn't discuss this in the pregame about any kind of keys to the game. We had too much good stats, Pat, that you put together. But obviously, keys to games are penalties. We talked about it last week. Super crucial that, whoever's going to win that game has got to be careful of turnovers and penalties. But Milton right now with the first one of the game.
2nd down and 9. Shotgun for Bastion. It's a keeper design between the tackles. Jumps over the 40-yard line and actually able to take it inside of the 35 down to the 33-yard line. Another 1st down pickup for the Milton Black Panthers, their 2nd of the night.
Well, things are rolling, running, not only with Doyle, but now Bastion at quarterback. Design keeper, executed perfect. And as you can see, Pat, I talked to you about this last week, that offensive line just making it easy at times. And that was a exact scenario there. Very easy for Bastion to get to that 2nd level.
Yeah, Coach Zettelmoore was very excited about the way his offensive line play, and he's putting it on him here tonight with the run plays. Bastion the shotgun formation. Give it to Doyle. Doyle makes a man miss and then grab and drag a defender. It's not going to get anywhere. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be it. So good job up front by the Royals on that one.
And, that's huge for them. I mean, to have no
fumble,
game.
Ryan.
Oh, a fumble.
Recovered by the Royals. So the first turnover of the night, something you talk about in terms of preparation. You said about penalties. Another key is about turnovers. And that's a turnover by the Milton Black Panthers. He gives it to the Royals.
That's something Milton's done this year. They've turned the ball over early in the game, but they've been able to sure things up and getting 3 victories despite the fact. But, man, this is big. I mean, good start for Holy Redeemer as they were able to get a penalty against Milton, and now the turnover here.
Dugan in a shotgun formation. Man goes in motion. Gets the snap. Going to look to the man going in motion. Making the catch for the Royals. He's hit at the 32 and then slammed to the turf as Fisher comes up and makes the stop after the catch that time by Block. But nothing there. It's going to be a loss of a couple. 2nd down and long for the Royals. No score. 9:34 to go in the opening quarter here from Alumni Stadium.
I don't know if you caught that there, but what a job by Fisher. That blocker came out, and he just shedded the blocker, got his hands out, and was able to get out around and make that tackle for a loss. That is picture-perfect play there by a cornerback.
So after the loss on the play, it's a 2nd down and long. 2 wide receivers will split to the right. Dugan calling the man in motion from left to right. Takes the snap. He's rolling to the right. Heavy pressure. Going to try to run with it. Nothing there. It's going to go down. Loss inside the 30-yard line. Like 68 on the stop that time for the Milton Black Panthers. And that's Hunter Zettelmoore, senior, 6'2", 255 on the sack.
Pat, how many wins do I have as a varsity football coach?
None.
Okay. That being said, on that play right there, if I'm Holy Redeemer's coach, I'm throwing out the play action stuff. There is just not going to be enough time tonight. I think Milton's defense is going to get too much penetration. If you're going to design run with a QB, just get to the run.
See if that's an adjustment here. They stay in the shotgun formation. High snap. Rolling to the right is Dugan. Looking, going to get rid of it. The ball's thrown high in the air. An opportunity for an interception, and it will be. Interception made that time. Coming away with it for the Milton Black Panthers is Lucas Diddy, the junior, 5'9", 159 pounds.
And that makes me smile. Lucas Diddy is a great kid. His grandfather is my pastor. He also helps me with my work sometimes part-time. Great family, the Diddy family. A long Milton history with them. Great athletes, great football players have come from that family. And Lucas has been starting all year at that in the secondary for Milton. Even got a start as a receiver. Last week I saw him in and at receiver a few times. So I'm really happy to see him make the play. What I like about that is, unlike everyone else, he attacked the ball and got it at a tie point.
Well, gets the ball right back to Milton. Milton will have it in Royal territory at the 44-yard line. Man goes in motion. Going to get the handoff. That's Fisher going right. Gets a great block at the 40. Still going to the 30. Makes a man miss at the 25, 20, 10. And slammed to the turf at the 7-yard line goes Fisher for the Milton Black Panthers.
And I believe that big block that everyone saw was number 34, Goodwin, if I'm correct. And that set up everything. This is what I was telling you about, like the way their offensive line is blocking. They're making it easy for these talented backs. They don't really have to do anything until they get deeper downfield. Fisher didn't have to make a move until he was already 20 yards basically into his run.
Rarick far to the left. Tight end Wolf is on the left-hand side. Shotgun for Bastion. Threatener of the Panthers. It's going to go to Bastion. Design keeper. Goal line. Stretches out. Touchdown for the Milton Black Panthers.
And that was a great play call. Designed, went away from all the motion, and the QB showing what he can do with his feet. And he just gets into the end zone almost untouched. I think the hand got on him there about the 1-yard line, but a very good drive as Milton responds from turning it over. They get the interception, put themselves back in great field position. And now Mackenzie Lopez, which last week had a PAT and a field goal blocked. She's out now for her first PAT attempt tonight.
Off the Bastion hole, low snap, gets it down, kick, plenty of distance, splits the upright, and good. Big play on that drive is the run by Fisher that took it inside the 10-yard line off of the great block in at the initial cut for Fisher. Sets up the play and finally finished off by a design run by Bastion. 7-yard touchdown run with 7:45 to go here in the first quarter. The extra point good, and Milton leading 7-0. That's the Alpha Electric drive summary.
What a beautiful night. We got a little bit of an orange in the sky. You think that's a coincidence, or do you think God's a Milton fan?
Maybe it's a reflection of the M and the end zone and the benches and the cheerleader. Everybody is feeling it here tonight. The energy's good, and a beautiful night to keep this thing going after the great win a week ago. And you said it, Ryan. You have a turnover, you fumble it. Defense comes up big, gets the interception. And now Dugan was under a lot of pressure when he got hit. The ball got thrown very high in the air. Diddy came up, attacked it, got it at the high point, gives it right back to Milton. You didn't see a letdown. They take it down. Fisher with the big run finished off the Bastion 7-yard touchdown run with Milton leading 7-0 with 7:45 to go here in the first quarter.
I really think Holy Redeemer is going to have a hard time tonight getting enough protection, having enough time to throw the ball downfield like that. Was their first deep attempt, and like you said, the QB took a hit as he was delivering the throw, and that's why it was pretty high and short. I think they're going to have to stick to more of those 5-10-yard routes.
Rhodes will kick this one off, swip kick, and there's going to be a whistle before we get this one going. Usually when it's back at the point of the kick, it's going to be an offsides, and see what they give us here. It will be an offsides against the Milton Black Panthers. And you know, Milton's at 3-1, 3-game win streak, and they're doing it. When you look at the graduation of Xavier Minium and Ashton Kroll, both playing at Lock Haven, and that's another big step that you have to make in your program, is that you don't drop off when guys like that graduate, when you think about Minium and Kroll.
And you can use them as an inspiration too. Hey, look, we got kids now that are playing at the next level at college. So when you're talking to your, not even just like your varsity players, but even your youth and junior high programs, it's great when guys like Ashton and Xavier are playing at the next level. It's huge for the program. Speaking of youth, how about all these cheerleaders tonight? It must be youth night for cheerleaders.
They are covering from the 30 to the 30 and go 4 deep. And again, just adding to the electricity here at Alumni Field as the Milton Black Panthers take the 7-0 lead off the Bastion 7-yard touchdown run. Now after the penalty, it puts the ball down at the 35, and Rhodes will attempt to kick this one again. He approaches it. It's another swib kick. It's going to bounce at the 19. Picked up there, the return man at the 30. He's got some speed to the edge, and he's going to be slammed to the turf when it looked like he was going to get to the edge, that he was so much wanting to, because that could open things up big time. Number 14 on the stop, and that's Patterson. He's a junior, 6 foot, 165 for the Milton Black Panthers.
That was a broken tackle away from possibly being a quick response and getting in the end zone. But you said it, Patterson came through and wrapped up textbook and hung on and was able to drag him down and really limiting the field position for Holy Redeemer.
I got Amanda Friend checking in. She's all confused. I'm covering Milton. Seals aren't playing
Well,
tonight.
I graduated with Amanda from Selinsgrove, and you cover Selinsgrove footballs, and now she lives in Milton, so.
And her nephew plays for the Seals, Jack Carpenter. So, yeah, she's a little confused, but she'll get it all straightened out. She's enjoying how this one's gotten underway for the Milton Black Panthers, off to a 7-0 start with 7:24 to go in the opening quarter. And can't talk enough about the backdrop here. It's a beautiful night, but, just look out. What a nice setup here at Milton Alumni Field, and get a chance to cover a game because Selinsgrove doesn't play till tomorrow night. And back in the booth with my man Ryan Brand. I couldn't ask for anything better, and I appreciate the opportunity as we're seeing Milton get off to a good start.
Oh, I'm super excited to have you here, man. As soon as you told me that game was Saturday, I was flying high.
We'll see if Milton continues to fly high on the defensive side. Dugan's going to get the call or get the snap, give it to the man on the speed sweep. Nothing there, just blown up at the line of scrimmage. Multiple black shirts in on the stop there. This is going to be a 3rd down and long as the ball sits at the 34-yard line in Royal territory.
See, in that type of run right there, he hesitated. He got the hole. There was a hole, and as he started to come up, he kind of hesitated. He slowed down and tried to make a move. I feel like he was trying to make the big play. If they want any chance tonight, you're going to have to be able to nickel dime as well. Lower your shoulder and just plow through, get that extra yard or two, and put yourself in 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4 instead of 3rd and 7.
He says stay ahead of the chains first of all, but like you said, just take what you can. You hear coaches talk about it all the time. Don't try to create something that's not there. Take what you can, and let's make this 3rd down and medium or shorter, especially with this high-powered defense that Milton is bringing at this point. And then now what changes here is you pin your ears back as you hear, and the defense is coming because they're expecting pass here from the Royals. They trail 7-0. Got a timeout on the field. Just joining us, Pat O'Brien along with Ryan Brandt, bringing you the Milton Black Panthers, who are playing the Royals for the 3rd year in a row. And talking to Rod Harris, this will be the last time in this agreement that they'll play the Royals, so they're going to have to add someone else new to their schedule. They were successful against the Royals the last 2 years, were the Milton Black Panthers, and in doing it 2 years ago in the rushing department with 372 yards from the Milton Black Panthers. Chris Doyle went for 272. And also, Minium had 3 rushing touchdowns on only 8 carries. And then last year was Bastion, went for 7 for 9, 195 yards, and also had 7 carries for 118 yards and a touchdown. They lead 7-0 here at Alumni Field. Dugan takes the snap. Patterson coming. Rolling to the right is Dugan. Under pressure, gets rid of it, and it's going to hit the turf. Under heavy pressure, off the edge from the backside, and then from right down the gut, number 56 bringing the pressure, and it's an incompletion, and that's Trey Locke, but nothing there for the Royals on that 3rd down play.
Well, the Royals took a timeout there, 3rd and 7. I'm sure to go over something they worked on practice when they were in a 3rd and, I wouldn't say long, but a 3rd and medium. And whatever the play was they worked on, I don't know if they worked on it enough because it was blown up from the start. Great job by that defensive line, getting in the backfield and really shutting down the time.
Punting it away are the Royals. A short kick, end over end. Fisher will run up, let it hit the turf, get a good bounce for Milton at the 40, and it'll be spotted down inside Milton's 40-yard line, about the 39-yard line. Milton leading 7-0. Milton Black Panthers again, 3-1, 3-game win streak. And we look at the rest of their schedule. Next week they have Hughesville. They'll be at Hughesville, return home to play Bloomsburg. Then they have to play the high-powered offense of the Mifflinburg Wildcats at Mifflinburg. And then they finish the season against Canton and Warrior Run.
I'm going to make a prediction. We're going to get a big play out of Peyton Rarick tonight, whether it's on offense or defense. I'm feeling it.
He's part of the trips to the left. Out of the backfield is Goodwin. Got the catch. A lot of green grass in front of him at the 40. 35, still going. Outruns a defender at the 20. He's to the 15, dragging a guy or two to the 10-yard line. Number 34 for the Milton Black Panthers. That's Luke Goodwin. Impressive out of the backfield. Wasn't touched until he got 25 yards down the field.
We ran into Luke in the hallway as we were coming in here tonight and talked to him a little bit and said, man, what a great game you had last week. Mostly I was thinking the defensive side. Well, tonight it's on the offensive side. That is a big play from the tight end there and showing some serious athleticism for a tight end.
He puts it at the 10-yard line. First down and goal to go from the 10. Doyle gets the call. Shakes the defender. Got to get to the goal line. Touchdown, Milton Black Panthers.
It's just a combination, Pat. Combination of great blocking up front and then tough running. And Doyle's able just to rip arms off his body and makes his way into the end zone. Milton is going on all cylinders right now, whether they're passing the ball or running it. And it all starts up front with the big guys getting the job done. You need that protection. You need the holes. And they're even getting those second-tier blocks. Not only are they getting the guys up front, they're able to get off them and get to the next one.
So extra point try here for the Milton Black Panthers. Again, Bastion with the hold. The snap, hold, good, kick is through. So the Milton Black Panthers, after Mackenzie Lopez's second extra point of the night, increase their lead to 14-0 with 5:09 to go here in the first quarter.
Think this is the kind of start that Coach Zettelmoyer was hoping for?
Absolutely. You talk about senior leadership, staying focused no matter who the opponent is. And over the years, you talk to coaches, Dave Hess, about are we better at the end of the game than we were at the beginning of the game, and there's always an opportunity to do that. And this is one of those kind of games. No matter the opponent, we have things to work on, no doubt about it. Let's improve on those things, and they've shown it here in the first quarter.
I think the trap game thought.
Cheerleaders are doing push-ups.
Yeah, more than I can do. And that one girl looks like she might be 5 years old.
There's 14 points already, so if the way things are going here, they might be doing
a lot of push-ups. They're going to be football players by the end of the game.
Well, they crushed them. They're back to their feet as Milton has taken the lead 14-0. But, again, you talk about getting better each and every time you have an opportunity. Milton's take advantage here in the first quarter.
And we said, I think the trap game's out of it. It would have to be a trap half now. Maybe the second half is a trap half, but not with this start with Milton right now.
The ball's going to go out of bounds as Rhodes kicks it, and it's going to sail out of bounds as the Royals let it go. And they are going to get great field position to start. They see themselves trailing 14-0 after 2 rushing touchdowns. The first one came from quarterback Bastion from 7 yards out, and then Doyle gets on the board a 10-yard touchdown run with 5:09 to go here in the first quarter. Again, Lopez successful on both PATs. 14-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers.
Apologize, we had some logos up on the screen. Can't see it through the camera.
It's about advertising.
Yeah. So if you didn't see those plays, I hope you were listening.
The officials getting the Royal football, going to get it lined up out there as we look to get this play going. 5:09 to go after the ball sailed out of bounds, and the Royals will get it at their own 35-yard line. They're going to send 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun formation for Dugan. 1 back in the backfield, all set to his left. He's going to get the call, going right. Makes a man miss in the backfield, but the speed too much, and he'll be slammed to the turf.
And in that play there, defensive lineman got into the backfield. Dugan did a great job of goal, but the problem is it slowed everything down. It made a pause in the backfield, and that's when you saw Milton linebacker were able just to fly in and finish off the tackle. So just a great job again. I mean, we can't say enough about these Milton defensive, or the offense and the defensive guys up front. They have just been phenomenal this year.
Seeing guys in here, talking Trey Locke up top, also Patterson, and I think a number 66, Bentley, playing in the middle. Quick throw this time, out to the flat. It hit immediately. Coming up is the corner, and is that number 26, trying to get a number across the way, but came up and made a great play on the pass attempt by the Royals. Or is that Diddy making
Diddy
the
again,
stop
29.
from the corner?
29, right?
Yep. Diddy has an interception on the night as well.
He likes to hit. That is his favorite thing. I've talked to him about it. He likes to fly, and he likes to lay out people. And he's on our basketball team, Pat. And Pat coaches with me here at Milton. This is a kid that's got athletic ability, like phenomenal. Can fly around super quick, lateral movement. He can do it all.
3rd down and long after that Diddy hit. High snap to Dugan, but he's got it under heavy pressure. Rolling to his left, going to get rid of it, and it's going to be incomplete. Well defended out there time for the Milton Black Panthers. No chance. 33 was on the coverage, and that's Dom Lytle. He's a junior, 5'9", 175 pounds. Falls incomplete. And a punting situation again for the Royals as Milton's return guys will drop back inside their own 30. That'll be Fisher and Diddy right about the 29-yard line waiting for this punt.
Lytle had another game last week, too, defensively. We were calling his name quite a bit. Just another good athlete for Milton. And like I said, and I think you're seeing it, too, the way they all play downhill. That is a major change this year.
Ball hits the turf on the snap. Punt gets away. It's going to be a short punt. Fisher's going to let it go. Good roll this time. Fisher is going to muff it on the turf. Picked up by Diddy off to the right. Makes a man miss at the 30. He's at the 40. Down the right sideline into Royal territory and bumped out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So maybe a misplay decision turns into a big return by Diddy as the Milton Black Panthers will start in Royal territory at the 41-yard line.
Wow, what a presence of mind there by Diddy to just be aware of the situation. Not only does he pick up the ball and maintain possession, but then he uses his athleticism, makes some guys miss, gets it around the corner, and he's tiptoeing down the sideline for a great gain. So heads up, Lucas Diddy having a big game so far tonight. Him and Goodwin, really just showed up here early on.
Again, Diddy has the one interception of the night. Rarick will split far to the right. Receiver far to the left. Shotgun for Bastion. Gets the snap. Dropping back. Under some pressure. Going to look like throw a screen. He will. Gets it out there for Doyle. Doyle shakes off a defender. At the 30. 15. 10. 5. Pylon. Touchdown. Milton Black Panthers.
I mean, we can say everything about the execution. We can talk about Bastion setting up the screen. We can talk about Doyle making the catch, turning, getting upfield. We can talk about the downfield blocks. We can talk about Doyle making guys miss. But ultimately, you got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff. That was a great play call. Holy Redeemer was not ready for that by any means. And Milton strikes quick again here in the first quarter. And they're going to, pending Mackenzie Lopez PAT, they're going to find themselves up 3 touchdowns, 21-0.
41-yard touchdown reception by Doyle. Waiting for the Lopez attempted extra point here off the Bastion hold. 3:08 to go in the opening quarter. Good snap, holds down, kicks up, plenty of distance over the netting, and good.
Well, Mackenzie Lopez, Pat, is a very good athlete, track athlete, very good soccer player. But she is a legit kicker. We're starting to see more and more female kickers in football and here even in central Pennsylvania. But this girl right here is not just, oh, I'm a female kicker, I'm another one trying it out. In my opinion, I've seen a lot of high school kickers. She's one of the best kickers in the area. She has got a leg. Last week, 2 missed, but one was like a 38-yard attempt that got blocked, and the other one was a PAT that got blocked against a very good Mount Carmel team. So I wouldn't even put those on her. Basically, she's about perfect on the season kicking.
And what you notice on her kick, they get up fast. The ball gets to a high point very quickly coming off. It's not just a power kick. It's graceful, looks good, gets up end over end, splits the upright. They're not even in question when they come off her foot. So she's doing a great job. 3 for 3 here tonight as the Milton Black Panthers increase their lead to 21-0 on a Doyle 41-yard reception. Comes with 3:08 to go here in the first quarter. Diddy's big punt return set that up. Extra point by Lopez, good. That's the Alpha Electric drive summary. So Rhodes will kick this one away. The last time he kicked it, it went out of bounds. Try to keep this in the field of play. and see good coverage from the Milton Black Panthers. This is a good kick. It's going to split the return, man. It's going to roll down to the 1 yard line and into the end zone barely, as both return guys were just looking at each other. And that ball must have stayed in the field of play, which meant it would have been live, and Milton could have recovered it.
That barely went into the end zone. That would have been a disaster. Because even think about it, if Holy Redeemer's sprinting back to get it, where's their momentum taking them? Into the end zone. Then they got to turn around. By the time that all happens, you're going to have a huge crowd of Milton Black Panthers there ready to make a tackle. So avoided disaster when it's already in the midst of disaster. There was Holy Redeemer.
So defensive line, Bentley, Zettelmoyer, also Locke and Patterson will line up across that defensive line. Goodwin, a linebacker for the Milton Black Panthers as the Royals come out. First down and 10, trailing 21-0. Quick throw this time. Got a man out in the flat. Makes a catch at the 21. Slam to the turf. Give him about a yard. That's going to be it. Maybe a second down and 9 for the Royals.
And I like the play there by the Royals. Well executed. The guy was pretty open in the flat. Good, strong pass and delivery. Problem is Milton, again, they're playing downhill. It's crazy how much part of the field they're covering and just such a little bit of time. It's just showing the pure athleticism and the focus of this defense.
So second down and 9 for the Royals.
Was that Diddy again on that tackle? I'm pretty sure that was Diddy as well.
But splitting two guys to the left this time are the Royals. Shotgun formation. Under duress is Dugan, rolling to his left. Trying to use his quickness. Gets away from a defender and then met by Goodwin. Tackled at the 20-yard line. But it looks like it'll be a loss of 1. So it's going to be a third down and 10 for the Royals as Dugan was running for his life.
And Dugan did a great job there just keeping the play alive and not making it a 15-yard loss. But I'll tell you, he's going to have to be aware of where Goodwin is and maybe start sliding a little bit there. You can't take hits like that all night long. He's already been involved in a lot of physical play here in this game, just early here in the game in the first quarter. So, we're at 1:45 remaining here in the first. He might want to save some of that stuff and not get himself too beat up.
Well, it's third down and 10. Dugan gets the call, drops back. 4 guys in his face. He throws it up the middle of the field, and it's going to be intercepted by the Black Panthers. Slammed down at the 31-yard line. Interception by Goodwin as he went back from his linebacker position, and he caught that. It was like a pop-up into the infield for the Milton Black Panthers and get the second interception of a Dugan pass.
Well, I'm going to be a huge hypocrite. He should have taken the tackle there. I just said don't take the hits. That one he should have just taken the hit. Go down. That's the second interception of the game for him, and they're both the same style. He's just trying to deliver the ball when he doesn't have the time, and you can't throw the ball. I mean, his arm's not even following through when he's getting hit. That ball's just floating up there, and that time Goodwin coming up with the interception.
So good field position for the Black Panthers at the Royal 29-yard line. First down and 10. Bastion drops back, rolling to his right, looking. Got a lot of green grass, but gets rid of it. It's got a man of Rarick at the 10. His shoe comes off at the 10. 5, touchdown, Peyton Rarick.
There's got to be a nickname in there, Pat. Shoeless Peyton. I don't know. Come on, you got to get creative here.
One shoe Peyton.
I called him a couple weeks ago, pick 6 Peyton, because he had a pick 6. I don't know. What are we gonna do? Forget the shoes. You don't even, when you're Peyton Rarick and you're that fast, you do not need shoes, plain and simple.
You can't prepare for everything when you're covering these games, and seeing a shoe fly in the air in the midst of a cutback by Peyton Rarick is not something to prepare for. But neither were the Royals defensively as the Milton Black Panthers increased their lead on the Lopez missed extra point that time, but they do increase their lead to 27-0 over the Royals.
I don't know what type of shoes Peyton's wearing, but if they're Pumas, we could call them Puma Peyton. Well, Reebok Rarick?
We got time. We'll figure it out.
Oh, it's good stuff.
I think shoeless Rarick.
Shoeless Rarick, though, makes him sound like he's homeless. You know what I mean? Like we brought him in from San Francisco just to play football, Milton. He's a gym rat. He literally lives in the gym, right? We're not talking about all the time he puts in the gym working out. He actually lives in the gym here. He's Shoeless Rarick.
Have to find him.
I hope his dad Chip and his mom Jenny are listening.
We have to get him some shoes.
Shoeless Rarick.
It's another turnover by the Milton Black Panthers. Sets that up on a Goodwin interception of a Dugan pass. It gives Milton great field position at the 29-yard line and finished off by the Rarick 29-yard touchdown reception. The extra point no good, but Milton increases their lead to 27-0 here in the first quarter. Rhodes kicked us away, the best one of the night, hits at the 2 and rolls barely again into the end zone for the touchback for the Milton Black Panthers. That's his second in a row after kicking that one that went out of bounds. Rhodes has kicked 2 of them into the end zone, which is an automatic touchback.
Other than a fumble and a penalty, I don't know if Milton has really done anything at all detrimental. I mean, they've pretty much played a perfect game, whether we're talking kickoffs, PATs, and defense and offense execution.
Well, and the crazy thing is they overcome both those mistakes and turned them into touchdowns, and that's what good teams are able to do. 84 coming in, that's Wirtz. Jackson Wirtz, a freshman, 5'11", 154 pounds, checks in on the defensive side for the Milton Black Panthers. Dugan in the shotgun formation, hands it off, going right, bounces back to the left, nothing there, slammed to the turf that time by the Milton Black Panthers. Loss on the play of a couple, be one. It'll give them some forward momentum. It'll be a second down and 11 for the Royals.
All right, 30-second drill, Bill. You have 30 seconds to give us the longest play from the scrimmage here for Holy Redeemer so far. I'm going to say maybe 3 yards because they had a 3rd and 7. I think it was 2nd and 10. Yep, Bill's giving me the thumbs up. Their biggest play of the game is 3 yards. I'll give Bill till halftime to get us their total yards. It's negative, he says.
Dugan drops back, throws that out to the flats, got a man out there, but going to be driven into the turf. That's Goodwin once again. Under 30 seconds to go in the opening quarter, 27-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers. And looking for a play clock at 30. They do not need to run another play if the Royals just decide to flip sides of the field.
I've watched a lot of high school football, and this is pretty impressive. I mean, Holy Redeemer, there's nothing they can do right now. They can't do anything on defense. They're not even getting special team returns that could set them up for a big play. I mean, honestly, that might be their best bet right now is a punt return, kickoff return for a touchdown. And offensively, Pat, nothing. Nothing. Just like the time on the clock here in the first quarter, nothing.
Yep, that ends the first quarter. A first quarter dominated by the Milton Black Panthers. Milton comes off of a great win, a 3-game win streak for the Black Panthers. Coach Zettelmoyer talked about it. Got to stay focused. We got to make sure that our heads are into this. We got to get better each and every day. And right now, that's exactly, and you said it, any thought of being a trap game is out the window. You might have moments where there's a lack of some focus, but right now it is a true dominating performance by the Black Panthers as they're looking to get their 4th win in a row here at Alumni Field. And you know, they've had great success, 8-1 here at Alumni Field, so they're trying to add to that as this complex has been great for them, and tonight is no different, especially in that first quarter.
And speaking of the complex, you and I were talking today at lunch, and I don't know if there is a better complex right now in all the area. I mean, with this new weight room, it's better than most colleges. The new athletic training room, the locker rooms, multiple locker rooms, all the new facility, the football field, the track, already having one of the best basketball gyms in the area. The wrestling room right now is fantastic. They are just doing things right and leading the way right now as far as, you know, giving these kids an awesome opportunity to enjoy their high school and their athletic careers.
Absolutely, that makes a big difference, and it adds to what is already going well for the Milton Black Panthers and all those things that you just talked about. And we talked to Coach Harris, Coach Harris, Rod Harris AD, and both soccer programs are starting real strong. They got a nice beginning. Shamokin plays tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning against Shamokin as a part of an agreement between the ADs. So come out and catch the Milton Black Panthers play at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Heavy pressure on Dugan. Rolling to his left, and he'll be taken down. Coming off the edge that time, Milton Black Panthers defensive end, and he got to him, took him down. Never a chance for Dugan, and he hits the turf once again. Looking at stats from our first quarter, 70 yards passing by Milton for 2 touchdowns, and they've rushed for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns as well. The balance is good. 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns for the Milton Black Panthers.
Oh, Babin and I like to set over-unders. We forgot to do that this week.
I'm going with the over.
Yeah.
Punt situation here for the Royals. Good punt that time. Gets away. It's a high kick. Coming up is Diddy. Makes the catch at the 30. He's got some room. Looking for one more block at the 15. 10, 5 to the goal line. Touchdown for the Milton Black Panthers.
Well, we just said it'd be a great thing for Holy Redeemer if they could get a punt or a kickoff return, maybe get a score, but we just wished it right on to Milton. And listen, that wasn't easy because Diddy had to run up to that ball, but just showing that he's got the ability and the hand-eye coordination to catch the ball at a full sprint, and he's chucking. I mean, he's just moving forward as soon as he gets the ball untouched into the end zone. Lucas Diddy having a massive game right now for the Milton Black Panthers.
Lopez will come out and attempt the extra point here.
Got a line change.
By the Royals.
This isn't hockey, but that was a lot of guys in and out.
Got some guys that weren't really prepared for the fact that Diddy would return that for a touchdown because Milton has some guys coming in as well a little bit late here on this extra point try. Play clock, plenty of time at 20 seconds to go. So Lopez will be able to line this up off the bastion hold, waiting for the snap, trying to increase the lead to 34-0, just starting the second quarter. That one's up and good. So Lopez and Bastion able to correct things there, and her extra point try after missing the last one. This one is good. 34-0 lead following the Lucas Diddy 32-yard punt return with 11:08 to go here in the first half. All set up by a great defense once again as the Royals have not been able to get anything going. It sets up a great opportunity on that return. And like you said, the fact that Diddy ran full sprint, caught it in the air, not only caught it in the air to get great field position, but able to got one more block at the end of that, took it up the left sideline, touchdown for the Black Panthers. They lead 34-0. That's the Alpha Electric drive summary.
Well, they're going to have to give Mackenzie Lopez a break, so they might want to stop scoring. She's got an 8 a.m. soccer game tomorrow. AD girls soccer coach Rod Harris not liking the fact that she's out there kicking so much. She's got to save that leg tomorrow. But she's also the reason they built the new facility and moved the football field down away from the school. Because remember, the field used to be a lot closer to the school, and if you had a really good PAT kick, it could hit the school. They were afraid of all the damage she was going to create, so that's why they did $14 million.
There you go. We'll call it the Lopez Bill.
Well, you got a name for that, but not, not Shoeless Peyton.
Yeah. Return man at the 8. Gets to the 20, upended at the 21-yard line for the Royals. Host the black shirts down there on the coverage that time by the Black Panthers. So the Royals will have a first down at 10 at their own 21 with 11 minutes to go here in the first half. 34-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers.
Pat, did I tell you how excited I was to have you in the booth tonight?
Oh, this is awesome.
Man, this is bringing back memories, dude. We did this for 10 years, and we did a state title game that the team we were covering won.
And we did state title games. We did a handful of district championship games. There's a lot of history behind what we did when we were in the booth. And here we are again, and loving the energy here from the Milton Black Panthers. Quick throw this time over the intended receiver's head. That falls incomplete. It was intended for block, but Dugan unable to get it to him. Second down and 10 for the Royals.
You're telling me you have a receiver named Block? Put him on the line. Put him on the line because they need a block. They're lucky that was close to lateral. That was pretty much even, I think. That could have been a backwards pass if it would just been a little bit behind that there. But Milton, again, they didn't have to do anything there, just a high throw.
See Braden Gogler, number 79, lining up at the left defensive end position. Also see Quinn Keister playing corner here on the left. High snap to Dugan, rolling to his right. Gets rid of it, looking over the middle, and almost intercepted. Through behind one intended receiver. Unable to make the connection. So just like that, it's going to be a third down and 10 for the Royals.
Well, there we got to see Dugan's arm. He had a little bit of time. He was able to step into the throw, and that was actually a really pretty throw, just a little off accurate there. But he can throw the ball. That was a nice tight spiral on the line, and just wasn't able to find the receiver.
Often you hear coaches talk about quarterbacks staring down the defense instead of looking for the receivers. If Duke is looking at the defense, I don't blame him at this point.
How can you not? They're in his face mask.
So they're going to try to do something on 3rd down and 10. Dugan looking over the middle again. Now he's going to take off and run with it. Going to the left. Diddy's going to get him and take him to the turf. Maybe a yard loss, if not back to the original line of scrimmage. But bottom line, that's a 4th down, and the Royals will punt this one away as Fisher will jog out and anticipate a punt here. But he could be standing in Royal territory before this punt even gets away.
I've seen Dugan now run a few times, and it looks like he's going to get big yards. And I don't know if maybe he's just not a fast runner, or maybe it's just Milton just too fast on defense because they are just getting to him when it looks like he's going to get a good gain.
Better punt here. Fisher takes it at the Royal 45, running from right to left. Makes a man miss at the 40. Still going, 35, up the right sideline to the 30, looking for another block, up the sideline and finally bumped out of bounds inside of the Royal 20-yard line at the 19-yard line, and that's where Milton Black Panthers will set up shop, trying to increase their lead. They currently lead 34-0 with 9:55 to go here in the first half.
It's got to be a little bit frustrating for Holy Redeemer when you got guys that are returning punts and interceptions, and they're just crossing field. I mean, yeah, he got 30 yards maybe on that return, but he probably ran a good 70-plus with the way he crossed the field. So just showing the athleticism that Fisher has there.
1st down and 10 for the Milton Black Panthers at the Royal 19-yard line. Quick pitch is going to go to Fisher off the left. Trying to run to the left pylon. Stops at the 5, trying to run over defender and not going to be able to. He'll go down. The marker met the 5-yard line. It'll be a 1st down. Goal to go for the Milton Black Panthers at the Royal 5.
And there you go, Fisher showing he's an athlete coming from his wide receiver position. They put him in the backfield, give him a quick toss and say, do your thing. And his thing is speed. Good speed there. Got all the way down until he met those 2 guys. And it took everything from the 2 defenders there, Holy Redeemer, to stop him at the 5-yard line.
Breaking out of the huddle, the Black Panthers. One receiver splitting far to the right. That is Ryder. He'll be on a 1-1 on the right-hand side, bashing in shotgun formation. Going to give to Fisher again. Big hole, goal line, touchdown, Milton Black Panthers. Score from 6 yards out.
It's a theme. He basically untouched again. I mean, the offensive line, and they've put a couple subs in, like you've said, and it doesn't matter who they're all ready. These practices must be so focused, and the guys are getting reps, and they're developing everyone because these 1.5s, I know you like to call them 1.5s instead of second string. These 1.5s are coming in here, and they're getting the job done as well.
So Lopez will come back out, and she'll attempt the extra point here. Again, trying to increase the lead to 41-0 over the Royals here in the first half. A little high snap. Bash is going to take off and run with it. Lopez is running away from anybody that's going to make contact with her. He dives for the pylon, not going to get there. So a errant snap, a little high that time to Bastion, decided to take off but couldn't get to the pylon. But the Milton Black Panthers score again, increase their lead to 40-0 with 9:06 to go here in the first half.
And Pat, you know this. Holy Redeemer better find a way to get some points on the board and get this back under 35-point lead, because second half that clock is just going to roll with the mercy rule in effect.
Doyle had a punt return set the Milton Black Panthers up, and he was the recipient of a 6-yard touchdown run, again with 9:06 to go here in the first half. The extra point no good, but Milton increased their lead to 40-0. That's the Alpha Electric drive summary.
What a performance right now we're seeing from Milton. I mean, they are just coming out on all cylinders. They're running so hard, they're running out of their shoes, as we saw Peyton Rarick do it. It's just impressive the way they're doing it, and it's every aspect. It's not just a running back breaking tackles. The offensive line is making holes big enough that I could drive Bill's truck through, and even with his trailer, which I have used many a times. He's a good neighbor. But just this offensive line just creating holes, and these guys are basically going untouched. Bastion is like, that's the biggest distress he was under right there, a high snap as the holder, and he still almost got himself into the end zone.
Rhodes will kick this one up. Line drive will stream across the turf, picked up at the 5. Return man to the 15. Got some room up the left sideline to the 30. And finally going to be taken out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Probably the most positive play the Royals have had all night as they get the return, as they took it from their own 5 out to the 35-yard line. They'll take over first down and 10 with 8:57 to go here in the first half. And Milton leading an impressive 40-0 game here in the first half.
I want to give a shout out right now. Brandon Feltman, I think he's listening. He told me he was going to listen tonight. He's down in Maryland, got a new job down there, and he's a former Milton football player and a basketball player. He was a senior my first year. One of my favorite kids I ever coached. You want to talk about having the right culture and the right mindset, that's Brandon Feltman for you.
I hope he's listening. Shotgun for Dugan, drops back, looking down the left sideline. Got a man out there, off the deflections, caught into Milton territory. Now make that the biggest offensive play of all night for the Royals as they more than quadrupled their total yardage on the entire first half on one pass. But you mentioned it, Ryan, in the pregame. You worry about a passing team because you just keep throwing, and you hope that maybe something big happens. They get a big play there. Their biggest of the night at the Milton 28-yard line.
The only problem is they're probably 33 points too late. I mean, it was a great play. Very heads up, keeping focus on that ball. And he had a Milton defender on him when he made the catch, so it makes it even more difficult. He's able to break out of it, and a big play for Holy Redeemer, something they really needed.
Stay in that shotgun formation over the head of Dugan. He's going to pick up off the turf, and black shirts are just going to swarm over and take him down. They're going to mark him about the 39-yard line. So you come away with something positive, and boy, that just drives coaches crazy when something that you know you rep and work on, and that's a clean snap to the quarterback, and it went over his head, and Dugan did everything he could just to be able to take control of that ball, even though it's going to be a big loss on the play.
Well, the backup center came in the game there, so I'm sure they haven't had as many reps as the starting. I made that up. I'm just trying to help them out. That is a horrible thing for them after such a big play, and then you take a 10-yard loss there just because of a bad snap. It's just one of those things that you can't have happen as you're trying to get your first points on the board.
Dugan gets it again here. Lots of time. Now gets rid of it. Looking over the middle. It's got man beyond the defense, in and out of his hands. Intended receiver that time, number 14, Dabascus, senior, 6'3", 185. He got beyond the defense, but unable to make the catch on a good throw. The best throw of the night by Dugan.
And I say this about every week. When I was growing up, throwing football in the backyard with my dad, if the ball would touch my fingertip, he would say, should have got it, should have caught it. And right there, that was in two hands, that 10 fingers on that ball, but unable to come up with it. And honestly, like, you have to make that catch in this current situation that the Royals are in.
It sets up in third down and long, about 21. Dugan drops back. He's got a little more time. He's going to go deep once again, down the right sideline. It's going to be intercepted and brought back the other way for the Black Panthers. Interception that time by Keister, and he'll return it to the 6-yard line. So Milton Black Panthers will take over following another turnover by the Royals.
Well, welcome to the club, Keister. Say hello to both Diddy and Goodwin for me, because now he's in that same stat column with those guys, and just devastating. Now, that being said, that's as good as a punt, and you just pinned Milton pretty deep inside their own 5-yard line with that interception. But, man, when you finally had something going offensively and then that happens, it's just killer for the morale.
Rarick will split to the right. It's a big play, a big score on the night for the Milton Black Panther offense. Shotgun formation for Bastion. One back in the backfield with them. He's going to get the call. Going to the right, hitting the backfield, shakes a defender. That's going to be Fisher. Gets positive yards after he was hit in the backfield. And we got Royals slowly getting off the turf here, and help from the official to get to his feet. We talk about Peyton in 2021 as a sophomore. Peyton Rarick had one of the longest touchdown receptions in school history when he took a pass from quarterback Xavier Minium and went 94 yards. He would finish that night with 3 catches for 122 yards and a touchdown. And again, as a senior, he has a touchdown here tonight for the Black Panthers.
What an athlete Xavier Minium was. Played quarterback, receiver, running back, defensive side, safety, linebacker, you name it, he did it all.
Off to Lycaven for Minium, as this is going to be handoff to Fisher in the Royal territory. He's going to take it for a score as he's going to go 91 yards for the touchdown for the Milton Black Panthers.
Well, that's an easy way of doing it. and Pat, that was between the tackles. I mean, they ran it up the gut. They weren't even trying for the big play out around the end. But when your offensive line is dominating, it's no different. And in fact, it's tougher to stop because now you get your running back through untouched. I didn't even see a linebacker that he had to worry about. All he had to do was make the safeties miss. He split them with the speed, and that's it. 91 yards, pay dirt.
So again, the most exhausted player on the field, Lopez, will jog out and try to kick the extra point here.
I'm waiting for Rod Harris to run out in the field and pull her off the sideline.
Well, did you see what she did when they had that fumbled snap the last time? She ran to the sideline. She took off. Wasn't going to be a part of anything going on out there.
Smart.
You're
a soccer player first.
Good snap. Kick is up, end over end, and is good for Lopez.
I'm just impressed how accurate she is. Her PATs are dead center every time. Good height. They go well past the uprights. Just a very accurate, good-looking kick from Lopez almost every time.
Lopez extra point pushes the lead to 47-0. It's a 91-yard touchdown run by Fisher with 7:22 to go here in the opening half. Set up by an interception by Keister. And again, the extra point good. It's 47-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers. That's the Alpha Electric drive summary.
And I hate to put you on the spot, Pat, but we were talking before the game. How many times has Milton scored 60 points in the last, you said so many years?
Well, they scored 60 last year, and then it's been since 2013 they scored 60 against Warrior Run. So the last two times that they've scored 60 points, it's been against the same team and the Warrior Run Defenders. So they are well on their way of possibly matching what they've done twice since 2013.
So let's go over under 62.
Over.
Over? All right.
And that's just for fun.
Yeah, for fun.
I'm not
I don't have any money.
Yeah,
I bought you a Coke.
I'm not betting.
By the way, you are now the highest paid employee from the booth because when Rich Ray did the broadcast with me, he only got a water.
Wow.
And we all know Coke costs more than water.
It's very expensive. As Rhodes' kickoff goes out of bounds.
It was very expensive.
Yeah, and it's the biggest mistake of the night. Double for Rhodes. He has kicked the ball out of bounds twice, something they'll need to work on as Minium is going to meet him at the sideline. And let's try to talk about how we can keep this ball going down the center of the field and not sail out of bounds. Going back to what you're saying, Milton beat Warrior Run, scoring 63 points. Last time they scored 60 was in 2013 when they beat Warrior Run 61-21. So
60 is a lot of points.
A lot of points.
Lot of points.
Especially when it's depending on how you manage it going away. But the way they're playing here right tonight, they're handing off to Fisher, and he's going 91 yards.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell.
Well, my over-under was first half.
Oh.
That wasn't for the game. Are you kidding me?
It's going to be a push. As Dugan drops back, toughest kid on the field, down the left sideline, and the receiver cut the pattern off, or it looked like it might have had a big play there going up, and that's Boschek, the senior, 5'10", 165 pounds. But it falls incomplete. It'll be a second down and 10. The hardest working guy on that sideline. Whoa, what a catch. That was a Beckham catch by the ball boy. Just made a catch. Referee threw it to him. He went up, extended his hand behind his head, and the famous Odell Beckham catch was just duplicated on the sidelines by the ball boy.
Some good athletes out there. Some young athletes.
Trips to the right this time. Dugan's going to throw it out to the flats. Got a man making a catch there. Trying to make man miss. He does. Trying to get to the 35-yard line to give a lot of credit that time to the receiver making the catch. That was McDermott on the catch as he was able to shake the defender trying to make the stop. That time was Wolf, and were able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, a lot of work, a lot of effort there to get it back to the line of scrimmage. I will say this. Dugan's throwing the ball a lot better right now. Definitely starting to look like he's settling in a little bit. He's still not having much success on the completions, but he's stepping into throws and definitely delivering a much nicer pass from what we saw in the whole first quarter.
Well, he's going to be in the shotgun here. He's going to send trips to the left. Blitz coming for the Black Panthers. Pressure's on. He's rolling to his left. Gets away from one would-be tackler as he's going to take it to the 31-yard line. Loss on the play. Good effort that time, but it looked like he was going to get away from the defender that time. Number 31, it was Dugan, Chasen Dugan. And it's a loss on the play. It's going to be a punting situation here for the Royals.
And Dugan listened to me there. He must have heard us. I said, don't take the hits. Don't take the hit slide, and he did that there. That was very smart. He was not going to get a first down. He wasn't going to get to the line of scrimmage, so that was heads up avoiding the big hit.
So a punting situation here for the Royals. Nazario will do the punting. Gets this one away, end over end. Return man takes it at the Royal 45-yard line and to try to get to midfield before Canelo is slammed to the turf for the Milton Black Panthers, but it'll be a first down and 10 for Milton Black Panthers.
A lot of athletic names you're hearing on this Milton on team. You know, you got the Crawl, and now you got a Canelo. His older brother was a great player. We got Isaiah Minium, and his dad and his brother are known very good Milton athletes in the past. So a lot of names that are circling back, you know, from days of old, and they're producing here. Oh, we said Diddy too. Diddy, another name, Goodwin. A lot of Milton known names for athletic success that are out in the field right now.
And a penalty on that return against the Royals puts the ball in Royal territory at the 45-yard line for the Black Panthers.
Well, the Panthers will take it, even though they didn't need it.
Savage comes in, number 71, on that offensive line for the Milton Black Panthers. Wide receivers to each side. Shotgun for Bastion. And take the snap. Handoff between the tackles. And going down quickly, number 20 on the carry for Canelo, as we just talked about. He got the call, nothing there. Maybe a loss of 1. It'll be a second down and 11 for the Black Panthers.
Maybe the first play for a loss tonight for Milton. I'm not sure. And Bill's shaking his head, yes.
And we got a man down on the field for the Royals. I want to see if we can get some updated scores of other games going on around the Valley, because it's a big night, high school football, week 5 on the high school venue. Teams starting to think about, do they have an opportunity for a playoff run here? Some teams sitting right at that point where big win tonight could propel them going in the second half of the season. So see if we can get some updated scores of other games going on. We got Lewisburg Central Columbia tied 3-3. Southern Columbia leading Danville in the second 14-7. Seen all over Montgomery 21-0. Mount Carmel bouncing back in a big way and shutting out Bloom at this point 28-0. Loyalsock taking on Williams Valley and leading that one 21-0. Susquehanna up 7 on Lime Mountain 14-7. And Hughesville, who's Milton's opponent next week, leading Midwest 21-0. Saturday games, Columbia Montour Votech will take on Holy Cross. And Saturday night, Warrior Run, Northwest Area, Jersey Shore, Mifflinburg, and Selinsgrove and Shikellamy all playing tomorrow night. Here, it's a 47-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers with 4:59 to go here in the opening half. Over-under getting 60 points. I have the over.
62.
62. Ryan has the under. So hoping for another soda. Quick pitch is going to go to the left this time. Canelo, lots of room. Second level, 30. Outrunning the defender to 20. Still going down inside of the 10. Close to the 5-yard line goes Canelo on the run that time as he's knocked out of bounds.
It doesn't matter who's carrying the ball. I think you and I could go out there right now, Pat, and get a first down.
Remember, my shoulder's hurting a little bit.
But if it doesn't get touched, you don't have to worry about it. You can slide.
It's
just
hurt.
Get the first down and slide.
It's hurting to stand here. I don't want to run. Get knocked out of bounds, I would be directly to the ER.
Listen, I don't want to run either, but with the way the size of those holes are, I might be able to get away with a jog.
I'll pitch it to you. Let you do the work. First down and goal to go for the Black Panthers. Bastion in a shotgun. Canelo in the backfield. Gets the call between the tackles of the 5. Close to the goal line. Touchdown for the Milton Black Panthers.
And that's the first run of the night, really, where there wasn't the hole. Canelo gets met at the line of scrimmage, and the young man is just dragging guys. I liked his cutback. I liked the way he was going the far side, and all of a sudden he's seeing a hole, got skinny, cut right back up the gut. and was able to drag a Holy Redeemer player into the end zone. Congratulations to that young man.
Extra point try here again for Lopez, trying to put back-to-back PATs on the board once again for the Milton Black Panthers. Waiting for the snap is Bastion. Good snap. Kick is up. Looks like a good. Might have sailed off to the left. Nope, but they say it's good. So Lopez puts another PAT on the board, increasing Milton's lead to 54-0 with still 4:08 to go here in the first half. Canelo, an 8-yard run set up by Canelo, long run down to the 10-yard line. That all comes with 4:08 to go here in the first half. Extra point good. 54-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers. That's the Alpha Electric drive summary.
Well, Pat, you know how you know this is a blowout? Besides the scoreboard, all the youth cheerleaders have left.
Well, they got tired of doing push-ups.
I'm waiting for Bill to leave.
They were jacked. I think they're going to a party now. They're like, they're feeling the guns. They want to go after having to do 54 push-ups.
Or they're afraid of how many push-ups they're going to have to do, and they're like, we're out of here. Yeah. This is ridiculous.
I did see some parents waving to them like,
let's go. You're going to stunt your growth.
Yeah, maybe they have some cheerleading responsibilities tomorrow. Got to get to bed, get those arms rested for the big cheer tomorrow.
Who do you think could do more push-ups, Babin or those youth cheerleaders?
Oh, youth cheerleaders.
Yeah, Babin's a simp.
He can't take his hat off. I mean, when you do push-ups, it's going to knock his hat off.
Yeah.
And we get a whistle here. It's going to be another offsides against him. So we have some corrections that need to be made. Ball's kickoff going out of bounds, and I mean this sincerely.
Yeah.
You can't have that in games. And this is the second time that they've been offsides on the kickoff. You got to correct that. Now, the defense to them is there may be a lot of new numbers out there, but bottom line is, why are you overextending yourself? Just hold back for one extra step and let the kickoff go, because that was going out of the end zone once again.
But do you think it has something to do with them smelling blood? They're just so hype right now. They're just looking to get downfield and eat again. And maybe they're just, it's one of those things as a coach. Is that a penalty that really makes you mad right now?
Probably not, but when you think Milton be heavy favorites in the remaining games, except for when they take on the right now current 5-0 Canton.
What about Mifflinburg, though? You think they're going to be heavy favorites? Maybe favorites? Mifflinburg's pretty good.
Mifflinburg's given up a lot of points.
Yeah.
Milton's defense.
Yeah.
And Mifflinburg's been able to score points. I would think that they would be at least a significant favorite in that one because of Milton's defense. But you look at Canton, that's a team that, like I said, it's 5-0. Canton is 49-9 over the last 5 years. So they bring it. It's going to be a tough matchup. And then they got Warrior Run, who they're at 6-4 in their last 10 attempts against the Warrior Run defenders.
I'm pretty sure Canton played Jersey Shore last year, right?
This goes out of bounds. They certainly did.
I don't remember. Who won that game?
Jersey Shore won.
But it was a close one, right? It was
close
a good
for
battle.
A while and then pulled away. But that one does sail out of bounds for Rhodes, who had to deal with the being offsides, and he's able to kick this one. He's his third touchback of the night, which is a big weapon for your kickoff team to save the Royals, because they did have a good run back and was one of the biggest special teams plays all night, the Royals, but they don't even get an opportunity here as this one sails out of bounds. But the Royals will take over first down and 10 from their own 20-yard line, trailing 54-0 with 4:08 to go here in the opening quarter. Dugan stays in the shotgun, handoff. Makes a man miss in the backfield that time by Dugan as he gets, by the running back. He's going to get to the 21-yard line. Short pickup. It'll be a second down and 9 for the Holy Redeemer Royals.
I don't have my roster in front of me, but great job there by number 20 and 21 for Milton, just flying to the ball, wrapping up, and barely a gain on the play. So some backups in there still getting the job done. And I think about when I was a former high school athlete. In this situation, I come off the field, if I'm a starter and there's a 0 on the board, guess what I want? That 0 to stay on the board. So these guys are rooting for the 1.5s right now.
Second down and 9. Pitch. Ball hits the turf. Fumble. And it looks like a scramble on the far side. A lot of black shirts around. And let's see who comes away with. The official will tell us here in 1 second, as that ball was pitched going to the left, well over the would-be pitchman, and it's a turnover. Milton Black Panthers come away with the fumble recovery, and they're going to have great field position deep into Holy Redeemer territory. Well, Ryan, you asked. Canton lost to Jersey Shore 23-0 last year. But that's after Jersey Shore had scored 62, 58, and following that game, a 23-0 win by Jersey Shore would scored 71 and 63.
Wow.
So Canton held them to 23 points, but lost 23-0 a year ago. But Canton's for real, 49-9 in the last 5 years. That will be a very tough matchup. Nobody's looking that far ahead by the Milton Black Panthers, but we can do it as broadcasters. Fumble recovery taken. Backup quarterback's in the game for the Milton Black Panthers. Handoff's going to go to Canelo. He's going to try to get the ball stripped out of his hands, but the strength of Canelo keeps possession. But number 88 tried to take it away from him, but they're going to give a forward momentum for the yard gain, 2nd down and 9 for the Milton Black Panthers.
Well, Pat, there's a reason I picked 62 for the over-under. Because it's 54 right now, so they would have to go for 2, or they're going to have to score again if they go for the 1. They'll be at 61 if they kick the PAT. That means that Milton defense is going to have to get the ball back to the offense quick if you're going to win your soda.
We got to find out who number 18 is. He's not on the roster. Backup quarterback has checked in for Bastion. The shotgun formation here. Canelo off to the left of him. Takes a design run. Running away from the defender to 10 at the 5. Pylon, touchdown for the Milton Black Panthers. And that's 18 on the carry for the Milton Black Panthers on the touchdown run there. And Milton, just like that, following the fumble recovery, is able to stick it into the end zone for the score. Increasing their lead to 60-0. And Ryan said about going for 2 here, and that's exactly what they look like they'll do here following the touchdown run by the Milton Black Panthers. They're going to go for 2. They'll spot the ball down at the 3-yard line. Following that touchdown run by the Milton Black Panthers.
Well, Pat, I made a quick trip there to try and find out who number 18 was. Oh, we got somebody coming up real big. Chase Lytle.
Chase
Thank
Lytle.
you so much.
And they take a knee here and do not go for 2 here. So that's Lytle on the touchdown run by the Milton Black Panthers. It comes with 2:18 to go here in the first half. The fumble recovery set that up, gave great field position for the Milton Black Panthers. And they took a knee here.
Were you getting excited they were going for 2 there?
You should have heard me. I was going crazy. The cheerleaders were cheering me on down there, hoping that would happen.
Were they doing push-ups?
Nope.
Well, they weren't that excited.
They were saying something about get him a Coke, get him a Coke. But they take a knee there.
Did you say Coke or coat?
Another sweatshirt would be nice.
You were upset that you forgot your jacket
I
tonight.
asked Bergie if there were blankets down in the locker room because I was afraid it was going to get chilly. But the wind, actually, there is none, which helps because it is a chilly but a beautiful night here at Alumni Field. And Milton has increased their lead to 60-0 on the Lytle touchdown run.
Well, Pat, I'll tell you, I know you're talking about a coat, but, man, if you needed a shoe, I have some good news for you. I know where I can find you a shoe.
Peyton Rarick's shoe might still be laying in the end zone somewhere.
Reebok Rarick.
Shoeless Rarick.
Puma Peyton. And he runs like a Puma.
He does.
So that's fair.
He ran shoeless into the end zone. Rhodes kicked this one away. It's going to sail to the sideline. Return man at the 8, 20, 25, up the left sideline. Host the Black Shirts will finally finish him off on the return that time for the Royals was number 12, and that's McLean. And it was not a clean return by McLean as he is taking down the sophomore. Good field position for the Royals, but boy, they look at the scoreboard and see themselves trailing 60-0 with 2:05 to go in the opening half.
That was a good play on words. I like that.
And Wirtz was maybe on the stop. I don't know. Wirtz has gotten in the game. That would be helpful. I don't think that was Jackson Wirtz on the stop, but I appreciate the comment.
We're playing a game within the game right now.
Hey.
Speaking of games in the game, 2:05 remaining. Milton up 60-0. The over-under is 62 at halftime. Pat is sweating.
And Dugan in the shotgun formation for the Royals. Hands it off, going right, spins, dragging defenders to the 40-yard line. They're running back that time, trying to get, if it was number 11, he'd got most of the carries here for the Royals and see if who that is on the carry there. That's McDermott. Not sure if that's who it was, but
You say most of the carries. How many carries, Bill? They have 2 rushing attempts tonight. No, sorry, I'm wrong. That's 2 for him.
and he was able to get 5 on that one of the biggest carries on the ground for the Royals tonight. Shotgun formation for the Royals.
5 total carries, Bill tells me, Pat.
Low snap on the ground. It'll be swarmed over by Garvin at that time as he jumped on top of that Aaron snap, loss on the play. So after a positive play of 5 yards, it's going to be a loss of 6, and it'll put the ball at the 34-yard line for the Royals. The clock running with 1:05, and it will be in mercy rule to start the second half here for the Milton Black Panthers. See number 59, that's Logan Zard, a freshman, making his way out on the field.
I feel for Holy Redeemer because every time they do something really nice and positive, they end up shooting themselves in the foot and end up going backwards, whether it's a penalty or a tackle for a loss.
Dugan's going to hand this ball off. Nothing there once again on the carry. That time is Garvin, but he is hit immediately. It'll keep the ball at the 34-yard line. 3rd down and 11 for the Royals.
And they don't have to snap the ball. There's a 3-second difference between the game clock and the play clock. But, you know, they've just ran the ball a couple times. That tells me they're just trying to run this clock off and get into the second half and regroup as to what they're going to try and do. And, you know, obviously it's not going to be a talk at halftime about how we're going to win this game. It's going to be a talk about how we grow, how we get better, what we can improve on, and execution. And that's exactly what's going on. They're not going to snap it.
And stay sharp. You got a lot of guys coming in, new numbers coming in the game. You want to keep this thing sharp, eliminate the penalties, execute. Right now, we're at halftime at Alumni Field as the Milton Black Panthers has raced out to a 60-0 lead over the Royals. We will take a halftime break, take a deep breath, get some reset mojo here as we will get ready for the second half. Again, Milton Black Panthers leading 60-0. When we come back, we'll recap that first half, the scoring, also get you some numbers. Milton dominating in the first half, leading 60-0. We'll go to halftime. We'll see you shortly to start the second half. Welcome back to Alumni Field. Getting ready to start the second half. And boy, we had to crunch some numbers here for this. Milton Black Panthers leading 60-0 here at halftime. They will kick this away. It'll be Rhodes kicking it away to the Royals. We are under mercy rule, so clock will run here. Return man takes it at the 21-yard line. Up the right side, make two guys miss at the 27, and finally knocked out of bounds. Late hit here on the sidelines, so the Royals get a good run back here, add in the penalty, and they'll get their best field position here of the night after the run back by the return man for the Royals. Look at the first half stats. Bastian 3 for 4, 120 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. In the rushing department, Doyle 3 carries, 31 yards, and a touchdown. Bastian 2 carries for 19 yards and a touchdown. Fisher 5 carries, 151 yards, and 2 touchdowns, as they just signal personal foul against the Milton Black Panthers. So the Royals will have the ball at midfield. Canelo, 4 carries, 34 yards and a touchdown, and Chase Lytle had the last touchdown run of that first half. He took it from 16 yards out for the touchdown off of 1 carry, 16 yards and a touchdown. The receiving department, Doyle 1 catch, 41 yards, touchdown. Rarick 1 catch, 29 yards and a touchdown for the Milton Black Panthers in that first half. Handoff straight up the middle, falling forward, get a yard for the Royals. Tackled in the middle of that defense by the Milton Black Panthers. Number 79 was able to get in there and make that stop for the Milton Black Panthers, and we're calling that Goggler on the stop. Look at the special teams. Diddy, 29-yard punt return in that first half. On the defensive side, Diddy interception, Goodwin, and Keister all had a pick in that first half. So totals, 120 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 271 yards rushing, and 6 touchdowns for a total of 391 yards, 8 touchdowns for the Milton Black Panthers in that first half. We're going to get a whistle here before Goggler gets the snap. So the officials are going to say that's a false start to go against the Royals, and they'll walk that off. The Royals, again, trailing 60-0 here at half. Dugan, 6 for 16, 42 yards, and 3 interceptions. And the rushing department, Dugan, just 7 carries, but a minus 28 yards. Garvin, 5 carries, minus 5 yards. McDermott has 3 catches per only a yard. DeBaskis, 1 catch for 45 yards, the biggest play of the first half for the Royals. Following the penalties, Dugan gets the snap, rolling to the left, makes a man miss at the 41. Still going into Milton territory, takes it to the 48-yard line, maybe the 47-yard line, to make this much more manageable third down here for the Royals, as he's able to get it to the 48-yard line. Make it the 47 on his third down. We're calling it 6. Just start the second half. First possession of the second half, and again, the Royals trailing 60-0 to the Milton Black Panthers.
Those were pretty crazy halftime stats. I mean, Milton's obviously were very good, but I can't think of a time where I've seen a team rushing-wise just nothing. I mean, just getting nothing tonight. A ton of credit to this Milton defense.
Dugan rolling to his right, steps up, gets rid of it. Looking deep down the left sideline, going to be intercepted. Back the other way come the Milton Black Panthers. Making an interception on the far side. That's Rhodes, Cole Rhodes, making the interception. It's the 4th interception by the defense here tonight for the Milton Black Panthers.
It's an interception party, Pat. And 4 of them, 4 different players, and all of them making great plays on the ball. It doesn't matter who Milton puts in right now. These guys are ready to go. And, you know, when you have a good team, boy, your practices are so good for the future of your program, because your younger guys are practicing every day with top quality players. So they're really not going to see anything else that's going to give them as much resistance as their own team. So it's just you're seeing it on the field as these 1.5s are in right now. They're just playing ball.
And we're going to get a timeout here. They only had 10 guys on the field as they're going through some changes here. Looking at the offensive line up front to start the second half, Nate Lopez, number 62, sophomore, 5'11", 240 pounds. Darren Bentley, a sophomore, 6'2", 347 pounds. Gage Nixon, number 67, sophomore, 510 pounds. And Talon Strauss, he's 6 foot, 265, wears number 78. Lytle will stay in at the quarterback position. He had a touchdown in the first half, sprinted to the left side, was able to take it from 16 yards out. The scoring looked like this. Bastian got on the board first with a 7-yard run, 7-0 lead with 7:45 to go. Then Doyle got his first touchdown tonight, 10-yard touchdown run. The extra point good, 14-0 lead. Doyle back-to-back touchdowns on a 41-yard touchdown reception to increase the lead to 21-0. Lytle turns, gives it to the deep man, Canelo. He's got room into the secondary, into Royal territory, being dragged from behind. Shakes the defender to 40. Still going. He's going to be held up before he can get to the 30-yard line. So a big burst that time by Milton and a big hole for Canelo as he's able to take it into Royal territory down to the 31-yard line. Look at the scoring again in that first half. Rarick, a 29-yard touchdown reception. That was all in the first quarter. 27-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers. Diddy, 32-yard punt return. Doyle gets another touchdown from 6 yards out. Fisher went from 91 yards out to add to the scoring. Canelo, 8-yard run, and then Lytle scored on a 16-yard touchdown run. And again, at halftime, it was 60-0 lead from the Milton Black Panthers. Got a flag here, mishandled snap on that one. Lytle's looking to the sideline for instruction on that misplay there by the Milton Black Panthers.
Well, that's a penalty the coach is happy with, because if there's no flag there, that's being picked up by Holy Redeemer and probably going 60 yards to the end zone for their first score of the game.
So as you said, penalty there. They'll walk that off, put the ball at the 37-yard line in Royal territory. Lytle playing the quarterback position, splitting to the left will be Keister. Quinn Keister has interception on the night, but here on the offensive side, also splitting to the left, number 24, that's Ryder. But they're going to hand it off to Canelo. Off the left side, second level. He's at the 25-20, tiptoes out of bounds. Inside the 20-yard line, close to the 18-yard line goes your running back for the Black Panthers. It'll be a first down pickup. They'll move the chains.
Pat, we found out that there will be no JV game on Monday because of numbers for Holy Redeemer. And, you know, this is good then, because then these JV guys are coming in for Milton, getting good playing time on a Friday night under the lights. And honestly, they're getting the job done too, as there's Canelo just running for big yards.
Keister splits to the left. Canelo stays in the backfield. He gets the handoff. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Speed gets him to the goal line. Touchdown for the Milton Black Panthers.
You got to be happy for the young man. Second touchdown of the night. And, boy, he's not much different than his brother, just a smaller version, showing good speed. He's very shifty runner, good hip movement, and changes direction quickly. We do have a player down for Holy Redeemer, but Milton quickly into the end zone. And I'm gonna be honest with you here, Pat. When I did the over-under, it was for the game. It wasn't for the half.
Oh.
So you want a Coke.
Thank you. I mean, are they
it's like Christmas.
Are they delivering it, or are you just standing here?
No, I'm not going to get it right now. I
Oh.
could go get it right now. Well, no, the concession stand still has a line down there. Speaking of concession stand, there is no better concession stand than Milton. And I like the coal region food and stuff, but you want to talk about variety and good food, get to one of these games. Get in this atmosphere, take in this beautiful facility, and make your way down there. Say hi to Val and Fred for me in the concession stand. Sometimes they have a chicken and waffle bowl. Amazing. Mashed potatoes, chicken, gravy in a bowl. Like, this is my life. We're talking food here now. The fish sandwich is known as like a top, option you have there. They got everything. Fries, you name it. Come down here on a Friday night, support these unbelievable young athletes, and go get yourself some good food. It's a great time.
You can stay at halftime and get something to eat and then head back to whatever it is that your evening called for, because tonight, this game dominated in the first half by the Milton Black Panthers, leading 60-0 going into half. Just added another score. You talked about Canelo getting his second rushing touchdown of the night to push the lead to 6-0. We do have a Royal player down on the field, being tended to by the medical staff. We mentioned about talking to Rod Harris. They got a soccer game tomorrow at 8 o'clock. The boys are playing well as well for the Milton Black Panthers. Joel,
Basketball player. Well, you got Trent on that team, Cade. There's a lot of guys on that soccer team that are very good basketball players. So stay healthy, boys. okay? Season's about 10 weeks away before we start it up. So go get your wins, go get your medals, but let's stay healthy.
Let's see, talking about health-wise, the man that went down is making his way to the sideline. Definitely looked like it was a cramp, so he has made his way to the sideline to allow the Milton Black Panthers to get set up here. As Lytle will go up under center here and take a knee, not add to the points here on the extra point try, as the Milton Black Panthers lead with 7:42 to go here in the third quarter. 66 to nothing. Ryan, we talked about 63 against Warrior Run last year. Back in 2013, they had 60 points. Add this one to the record books in terms of numbers. 66 points and a lot of time. 7:42 to go in the third period.
And I'm very impressed. Like, not only with the play of the players, the game plan, the coach is doing a great job. The guys look sharp. But you want to talk about class, not kicking PATs. And Milton right now, their coaching staff just showing a ton of class and showing a little bit of mercy on their own here. You know, not much you can do when you're calling plays and your second and third string guys are running for touchdowns. That's kind of out of your hands, and you're not going to take a knee. But when the PAT comes up, them taking a knee at that point, I can get on the bandwagon with that.
Getting late personnel in, and Brady Wolf has made his way into the game on this kickoff cover team. Trying to find numbers, guys that are getting in there. We got Grayson White Knight, number 3. He'll be here on the near side on the kickoff cover team.
That was a number in the beginning. We couldn't find it on our roster. We had to do some hunting.
Yep, and Chip Rarick came up big and let me know that it's Chase White Knight's number 3.
Thank
This
you,
kickoff
Chip.
straight down the middle. Return man at the 7. 15, 20. And who makes the stop? White Knight.
White Knight.
Making the stop. So, Chip, if you're listening later on when you get home, you'll know that because of your work, you got us a name, and the kid get an opportunity, makes the tackle. That's Chase White Knight, number 3 on the kickoff cover team for the Milton Black Panthers.
White Knight. If that's not an oxymoron, what is? Have you ever seen a white knight?
Nope. But
I'm talking about knight as an N-I.
But I love my jumbo shrimp, that's for sure.
How did we get from white knight to jumbo shrimp?
It's an oxymoron.
Did you make your way to Red Lobster for the all?
No, I didn't. And when you
man.
told me that, like you gave me your play-by-play of your experience at Red Lobster, I was like,
They upgraded, man. It's better than ever.
this segment brought to you by Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
Dugan rolling to his left, looking, under pressure, gets rid of it, underthrown to his intended receiver, and then takes a late hit, and there's going to be a flag on the play. Then Dugan pops up, and he's running to the sideline to get some instruction.
Well, the last thing we want are penalties, not because of the outcome of the game, but trying to get this clock to roll. You kind of get a feel for both teams. They want this game to end, get out of here injury-free, and continue to build on their seasons.
Number 23, Cooper Longer is into the game. He's split here to the left. See 35 into the game. Number 35 is Cale Walter. He's a junior, 5'9", 160 pounds. Number 54 has checked in. That's Tyler Emery, junior, 6 foot, 260 pounds. Cole Rhodes stays in, playing the safety position here for the defense. Canelo will play a linebacker for the Black Panthers. Trips to the left this time for the Royals. One wide receiver split to the right. Shotgun formation for Dugan. 66-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers. Dugan taking the snap. Handed off to the lone back in the backfield. That's Garvin. Nothing there. 54 on the stop for the Milton Black Panthers. That's Emery, the junior. Short pickup. It'll be a second down and long for the Royals.
Yeah, Emery doing a good job there, firing out off the line and making the tackle for a minimal loss. So, and I know it's a whole new crew in here on defense, but not a new result. Milton defense still getting it done and limiting the yardage that Holy Redeemer is able to get.
Milton's 9 wins last year surpassed a total of 7 wins for the Black Panthers between 2014 and 2020. They're trying to top that. If they can get a run going here after an open season loss, 3-game win streak, looking to improve to 4-game win streak. Dugan running for his life, being chased from behind, gets rid of it, well out of bounds. Pressuring Dugan that time, coming from the right side, chasing him down again was Walter. Dugan just did everything he could just to get rid of it.
Well, I'm glad he threw it, didn't try and run and take another hit. With this game, basically being over, it's all about staying healthy right now.
Talk about the Black Panthers at 8-1 at Alumni Field coming into tonight, so that'll prove to 9-1 the past 2 seasons. In the 9 games before tonight, they had averaged 30.7 points per game while giving up just 9.8 points per game at Alumni Field. In those 8 wins, that's going to improve drastically.
Yeah, it's going to help all the averages for sure tonight.
The numbers will go way up for the Black Panthers.
Man, you forget how much mercy rule really makes the game go. They were at 4:43 remaining in the third quarter.
Well, and it would be faster if we didn't have
the penalties.
Penalties and stopping the clock here. Like you said, getting ready to go at 4:30 to go here in the third. Dugan rolling to his right, and he's going to be grabbed. Whistle will blow. There's still a lot going on there. And finally, we're going to get stoppage there.
I like that call by the ref. Definitely a premature whistle, but no need to keep that play going. He wasn't going to get out of the arms there of the Milton defense, and it saves any kind of hard tackle to the ground.
It was Jackson Wirtz, the freshman, 5'11", 154 pounds, who had got to Dugan before that whistle was blown to stop that play, as you mentioned. 4 minutes to go here in the third. 66-0 lead. Punting situation here for the Royals as Nazario will come out and punt this one away. Canelo will drop back along with Rhodes, standing at their own 45-yard line, waiting for this punt. Milton already has 1 punt return for a touchdown. Better punt this time. Rhodes will take it at his own 47, dances to the 45, and it'll be taken down at the 43-yard line goes Rhodes. On that stop that time was Garvin for the Royals on the punt cover team.
Nice job there by the Royals. Good punt coverage, swarmed to the ball, wrapped up and brought him down. So positive thing there. They were already going to give up good field position, but that minimal return, really helps out there as Milton's offense comes back out in the field.
Coming in tonight, the Royals were 4-5 versus District 4 opponents. 3 of the 4 wins came against Columbia Montour Votech, and the 4th one was against East Juniata. But now that's going to drop to 4-6 against District 4 teams for the Holy Redeemer Royals.
Pretty sure they're lined up off sides. I mean, that kid's arms are a foot past the football there as he lined up.
That official almost felt bad to drop that flag.
I mean, come on, buddy. Look to your left. You are way past the ball.
I think it was one of the things where the official was kind of looking like, am I at the wrong angle? Because that kid's basically in their backfield. I was like, oh, my gosh.
He's the 12th man on the field for Milton.
Yeah. So he reluctantly called a penalty there, but it gives a 5-yard walk-off for the Milton Black Panthers as Walter makes his way in for Canelo. High snap, Lytle takes it off the turf. And he's going to spin away from a tackle, but finally be taken down back to the 48-yard line. Maybe forward progress to maybe the 47, but that's going to be it. As the ball slipped through Lytle's hands, he ran back and picked it up, unfortunately, to come away with it after that fumble snap.
Well, I mean, just an error there on the snap. But you got the younger guys in here right now, so they don't have as many years and reps in as the upperclassmen. We're going to see some of that stuff. And, going from 1st down and 5, now it's going to be 2nd down and 17. That's a definite positive for Holy Redeemer.
Ryder split to the left. High snap again to Lytle. Hits the turf. Almost scooped up by the Royals. There's a chase for it, and the Royals will come away with the fumble. 2 snaps in a row, high to Lytle. And that's going to be a recovery by the Royals as coach is talking to the center right now about trying to correct that. That's low pass. So there'll be some education and just some schooling there to talk about the snap because that was 2 in a row. That time Lytle not able to come away with it. So it's a fumble recovery by the Royals, and they're in business at the Milton 32-yard line.
Well, you need some things on film to work on. I mean, so far this game, I don't know if there's been anything for Milton. So there's a little bit of film, see some things there that they can improve on, with the younger fellows. But here you go, Holy Redeemer with their best field position probably since the turnover, or since that great catch for 40-some yards earlier on. Can Holy Redeemer do anything with this short field, though?
Got a timeout taken here. Some discussion on the far side regarding personnel. So timeout taken there by the Royals. Give us a chance to take a look at our updated scores here.
From Various Digital.
Of course, Monday night, Jersey Shore beat Chickalemi 61-12.
That game, what was that game at the end of the first quarter? 36-0, I think.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was not a good evening
For the Braves.
Shamokin leading Central Mountain 20-6. Southern Columbia up on Danville 24-7. Muncie up 7 on North Penn Mansfield 20-13. Wyalusing beating Montgomery 21-0. Mount Carmel all over Bloomsburg 55-6. Loyalsock beating Williams Valley 21-0. Here, 66-0 lead for the Lime Mountain, or for the Black Panthers. Handoff goes to Garvin, hit in the backfield, and he's going to be stopped. No gain, maybe a loss on the play.
I love the energy we're seeing out here on the field. It's so easy to take your foot off the pedal when you're up 66-0, but these guys that are in right now for Milton on the defensive side, they are still playing with that energy. They're still playing downfield, and they're pumped. I mean, after that big tackle, one of the players got up, and he's flexing, just enjoying the moment, you know, and this is his chance. I mean, how much time does he get on the field on Friday night? So he's going to make the most of it and definitely going to celebrate the accomplishment. Well done, young man.
Logan Czar on the left side of the defense for the Black Panthers. Dugan gets the snap, getting some pressure, rolling to his left, squares up, gets rid of it. It's going to be in and out of the defender's hands. Back there trying to make the interception was Cooper Longer, but it falls incomplete, and it'll be a second down and 11. Make it third down and 11, and we're at 1:20 to go here in the third quarter.
And just another scenario where the pressure gets in there and it alters the pass, floating a little bit on him. And fortunately, though, this time for Holy Redeemer, no interception for Milton.
As we continue to try to get you the names and numbers of guys who've checked in here, if we have not already mentioned them, we'll do that as much as we can. Third down and 11, under a minute to go here in the third. Dugan drops back, heavy pressure rolling to his left. Trying to get away from two Milton defenders and not going to be able to. Canelo in on the stop, but the man putting a lot of pressure on him was Walter once again from the outside linebacker position. Walter Jr., 5'9", 160 pounds, was chasing Dugan from behind.
Well, this is tough. I mean, you feel for Holy Redeemer because here you go. You start out at your own or at the Milton 32-yard line. Great field position. Two positive plays in a row for you for your defense, one of them being the scoop of the fumble, and you've gone 2 yards backwards in 3 plays. I mean, and you're playing against the JV guys of Milton right now. So opportunity there for them, and again, the results are just going backwards for the Royals.
And that play is going to wrap up the third quarter here from Alumni Field. Actually, now they're stopping it. Now there's a flag. Now there's another flag.
Delay a game?
Delay a game. So they.
Oh, the clocks.
The play clock ran out before the extra.
See, now that's tough because it's 25 seconds on the play clock, right? 25 seconds on the game clock. You're watching it. You're like, oh, they can run it out. You don't see the point until it gets down to single digits. So.
And now they ran it out.
Oh.
Gosh, they get a penalty for 0.6
Is it a runoff? Is it a runoff on the penalty?
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. I would pick up that flag.
Well, here's a recap of some nicknames we've come up with.
Yeah.
Peyton, Shoeless.
Puma Peyton.
Yeah, or Shoeless Rarick.
Reebok Rarick. He was called Pick Six Peyton because a couple weeks ago he had the Pick Six.
Damaging Doyle.
Damaging Doyle. That's new.
That's new. I was getting in there. Shifty Diddy.
Shifty Diddy.
Watch how you say that.
Yep. Yeah, and make sure you enunciate.
He can Canelo.
He can, for
Scored
sure.
2 touchdowns. So
he can Canelo or you can't Canelo.
You can't Canelo even if you try.
Yep.
Not tonight anyways.
Oh, man.
And then little lower snapple to Lytle. lower snap Lytle.
I like these blowout games. When we have blowout games, we just tend to have more fun, I think. We get creative.
Well, especially when you're on the positive side of the blowout.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other way. I remember a 69-0 loss to Southern Columbia and to Southern Columbia Community College.
There's been a lot of bad losses for teams against Southern Columbia, so
And they
that
continue.
69-0 might be like 69 different teams.
Yeah, and it continues.
Yeah, it does. They're unbelievable. What a program. Jim Roth, man, he is a great guy. I know him personally, and, man, what a program he's built.
Over, under, he'll be a Hall of Famer going with over.
He should already be one.
Dugan down the right sideline as his receiver tried to adjust on the catch there, unable to make the connection. Well defended out there by Cooper Longer, and it falls incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs back to the Milton Black Panthers.
I almost feel we thought a little bit of gust of wind pick up there because that ball looked like it was going to travel much further. I don't know, maybe some wind hit it and caught its sail and slowed it up there, but not a bad attempt. Yeah, if you're going to go big, and they tried to there, trying to get something happen, make a play on the ball in the air, but unable to come up with it. And you said it, turnover on down, so that Milton offense is coming back out in the field. 11 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. Clock is running, but will Milton get on the board again and make this a 70-point game?
Lower snap, Lytle in the shotgun. Handoff goes to Walter off the left between two would-be tacklers, still dragging defenders to midfield, and he's going to see a wall at midfield, but he doesn't actually hit the turf. Officials blow the whistle, stop his momentum, his forward progress, but it's going to be a first down for the Black Panthers.
You can't tell me that they don't work on practice picking up those knees and just churning, because every single time somebody gets the ball for Milton, as soon as somebody makes contact and wraps up, they are just pulling guys. And it's a lot of it's technique and you know, a big part of it's strength. But I love the fact that I see guys not giving up and just trying to bull their way through.
Josh Dugan will split on the right side. Two wide receivers on the left. Handoff this time goes to the lone back in the backfield. That's Walter. Pick up a yard as he falls into Royal territory. Multiple white shirts on the stop there. Pick up a 1. Second down and 9 for the Black Panthers, leading 66-0. A running clock here with 10 minutes to go in the ball game. After tonight, the Milton Black Panthers will take on the Hughesville Spartans. A game again that Milton will be heavy favorite, but it's going to be about preparation. They certainly did a great job after the big win a week ago over Mount Carmel to be prepared to play the Royals here tonight.
I got to see Hughesville play Bloomsburg. They got a couple guys that can run the ball pretty hard.
White Knight gets the call off the left, taken to the turf as he gets inside the 40 to the 43-yard line. Peyton Rarick, or Chip Rarick's favorite player, White Knight.
Knows him well.
Knows him well. At least he's going to know him now. Backstory on that is we didn't have him on our roster. We didn't know who number 3 was, so we asked our main man, Chip Rarick, what his name was. He had no idea. He asked 10 people. They had no idea. And finally, he got the name, and I'm glad he did. He had a big tackle on defense, and he just got the ball here on the carry for the Milton Black Panthers.
Well, they're going to know him in the future because he's a nice-looking young player.
A mishandled snap there, and Lytle has to go to a knee after the miscue on the handoff to White Knight. So it's a loss on the play. It'll be a 4th down and 5 for the Milton Black Panthers as Lytle will get the call here from the sidelines.
I believe this is going to be the first punt of the game for Milton.
And I don't think they're going to punt.
Maybe not.
Nope. They don't want to break a streak here. They're going to go for it.
Wow.
Yeah, big call here.
They must know the new over-under of 67.
Lower snap, light on the shotgun. Oh, he's going to keep it. Looking for a big block ahead on by Walter. Gets it. There's a flag on the play as he makes a man miss at the 32. Still going. Gets to the 35. And finally is asking for a whistle to be blown. But there's a flag all the way back. It's going to be a holding call against the Milton Black Panthers as the officials letting the head coach know who was the holding culprit on the holding.
Is this wrong of me to say I'm glad Milton had a penalty there?
No, it's not at all.
Okay. Is this like my heart coming out here? Am I showing my soft side?
Yeah, you are soft.
I can't let my neighbor know about that. He won't let me in the militia if he finds out I'm soft.
Our stat guy wouldn't. He's like, let's go for another touchdown.
I'm the engineer in the militia. Did you know that?
No.
You know how I got that job?
You know somebody.
No. I put a light kit on my lawnmower. custom completely. They don't even make a light kit. I totally did it by myself. He looked at me and said, "You're now the engineer in the militia." So I got some value.
So you're going to go home tonight and cut the grass?
No, he cut my grass for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Like, he loves to mow the yard.
Speaking of mowing things down, let's get back to the Milton offense. Cole Rhodes split far to the right. Lytle gets it. Oh, he's going to punt it away, and it's blocked. And it's going to be recovered. Huge special teams play by the Royals, as they were not fooled on that one. Got in and made the block as Lytle tried to take the snap and punt it away, but it's blocked. Great field position for the Royals. They trail 66-0 with 7:18 to go in the game.
And maybe that's why they didn't punt when it was 4th and 4. Maybe these guys have never done punt before, you know. I don't know, but good job there by the Royals to get the block and get possession back with great field position.
Well, I think to save it, you want to say that was a fumble and not a punt block. I mean, in terms of the stats, however you want to look at it.
Either way, it's Holy Redeemer's ball on the Milton 44-yard line.
Dixon in playing the left side of that defensive line for the Milton Black Panthers. Shotgun for Dugan. Gets the snap. Hands it off to Garvey. He's got a lot of room on the right side. Being chased by Canelo from behind, and he'll make the stop right at the 35-yard line.
Going to be close to a first down there with that extra effort from Garvey.
Did he fall far enough ahead? Is there a flag on the play? There seems to be some discussion here. The official's going to tell us. It's a holding call.
Oh, man.
So take it back. Obviously, officials have no compassion for the circumstance going on here.
Well, I know with all these penalties and these plays, our stat guy, Bill Haas, he's over there wearing out the eraser, taking them off the sheet. But, yeah, that's
another positive play. Would have been credited to the Royals, but it is not. So they have to take it all the way back inside their own side of the field at the 49. Clock running with 6:45 to go in the ball game. Wide receiver split far to the left. Long count this time by Dugan. Low snaps, going to keep it. Green grass ahead of him, but a lot of speed chasing him. Walter, Canelo, and that's who's going to finish him off. Another loss on the play. Ryan, talk about compassion. Get Dugan out of there. I mean, this kid's played the entire game, has taken the most hits. He's a trooper. This is where character is built.
Yeah.
If I'm an employee sitting in the stands going, that Dugan kid, if he comes and wants to do something at my business or something, he's a character guy. I haven't seen him flail his arms. I haven't seen him complain. He just continues to play. But, man, I feel compassion for him. Take him out of the game.
The question is, though, what's your backup right now? Do you have a backup? Is he capable of executing the offense? Because it could be even worse without him. And I know maybe they have him in with some of their backups just so they can have a chance at getting things orchestrated. That's the only thing I can think of. But Dugan got up there kind of rubbing the shoulder a little bit.
Stays in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Garvin. He's got some room, second level. Gets to the 49 before he's swarmed over by a group of Milton defenders. Looks like Jackson Wirtz was involved in that stop. But let's get credit, number 65. That's Caden Beaver, just a freshman, Ryan, 6'1", 220 pounds, making a stop in the middle of that defense. Got to get him on the basketball court.
That's the type of frame you want. You can build a lot of muscle in a big frame like that. Pat, I want to ask you, have you noticed, and especially this year, man, teams are running a lot of shotgun. The game is definitely going to a shotgun. I mean, obviously, if we watch Southern Columbia play, we're going to see that wing T, but, man, a lot of shotgun. Everybody's playing now in high school football.
Absolutely. Copycat league for sure. Dugan's going to take off and run. A lot of green grass. Up the left sideline at 35. And finally going to be taken out of bounds. Cole Rhodes will make the stoppers at 16. Sorry, number 16. And I think he's the one I don't have a name for, but did make a stop, came up, and was able to bounce Dugan out of bounds. But Dugan picks up a first down. Clock running with 4:40 to go in the game. 66-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers. 60-0 at half. They get one score in the second half, and that's where we stand. Milton leading 66-0.
I mean, that's just a heads-up play by Dugan, just to tuck and go. A lot of green in front of him, and he gets just enough for the first down, I think by about a yard.
Send wide receivers each side, and once again for Dugan. Garvin alone back in the backfield. Clock at 4:10. Dugan drops back. He's got a little more time here. Looking. Going to get rid of it. Got a man left sideline. Did he tiptoe to sideline? Nope. They're going to say he was out of bounds as he tried to connect that time by number 40, and that's Kyle Lai, unable to make the catch there as he tried to tiptoe the sideline. Falls incomplete. Second down and 10 for the Royals.
Not a bad play, though. Just a little off target. Could have kept it inside a little more. It definitely would have been a completion for a big gain, getting the first time inside the red zone there. But just a little off was Dugan on the throw. And, you know, the fact that he can still throw it that far downfield is the fact that he still has the energy and the power to do it. So he's in pretty good shape.
He sends a man in motion going from left to right. Dugan drops back. Throw ball out to the flat. Making the catch for the Royals off the right side to the 25. Going to be hit there and slammed at the 24. And that's McDermott, DJ McDermott on the catch for the Royals. He's a senior, 5'8", 165 pounds. But body language, you can tell. This one is wrapping up here with just 2:58 to go. Get a chance to look at some updated scores. Southern Columbia leading 38-17 over Danville. Shamokin leading Central Mountain 20-6. Lewisburg up on Central Columbia 20-3. Mount Carmel all over Bloomsburg, bouncing back in a big way, leading 62-13. Loyalsock leading Williams Valley 24-7. Hughesville up on Midwest 27-0. That's Milton's opponent next week. Dugan getting pressure. Able to shake a couple defenders to the 20. And then stopped at the 19 before he'll be taken down there at the 19-yard line. Jackson Wirtz gets up, celebrates. Also, number 30 on the stop. So 31. Let's give credit number 31. That's Josh Dugan, the 5'9", 170-pound junior, able to take Dugan, the quarterback for the Royals, down at the 18-yard line, 19-yard line.
Well, I mean, good job by both Dugans, but quarterback for Holy Redeemer, again, smart, tuck and run. You see some green, take a get, and again, he gets the first down by 1 yard and gets this Holy Redeemer offense into the red zone for the first time tonight.
Trying to put points on the board for the first time tonight. Handoff goes to McDermott, straight up the middle. Good job by White Knight. That's White Knight, who we've come to know very well here in the second half, number 3. We knew who he was from the beginning.
Just didn't know his number.
Didn't know his name.
Didn't know his number.
Grayson White Knight has had a good night for the Milton Black Panthers.
Pay attention to the sideline here for Milton as we're at 1:13 remaining, but that 0 is still on the board, but Holy Redeemer knocking, trying to get in and get some points. You know those starters do not want a score on the board.
McDermott in the backfield. Dugan dropping back deep in the end zone. Knocked away. Good job that time by the defender, number 23 for the Milton Black Panthers. Cooper Longer able to knock it away and avoid what could have been a potential touchdown for the Royals.
That was a great play by Cooper Roy because he was on the outside shoulder, and that pass was passed on the inside on a little slant route. And Cooper Longer was still able to get out around without making contact and knock the ball down. So, man, 23, Cooper Longer, get him some varsity time. That was a great athletic play by him.
Big football Saturday tomorrow. We'll be Murphy, Teresa, Val, and I will be heading to State College for the whiteout, Iowa whiteout. Ryan's predicting rain. He all of a sudden is a weatherman.
Anytime Iowa is at Penn State for a night game, it rains.
The Hawkeyes bring the rain, but hopefully it's Penn State who's bringing the rain.
How about it?
Yeah, big game tomorrow night for Penn State. Also, Notre Dame's got Ohio State.
Big game. Yeah.
So a big Saturday of football. Looking forward to making the trip to State College. Murphy obviously is going to Penn State.
Nice.
Education major. Proud of her and what she's doing there. And we're getting opportunity. Teresa did all the work. It's all tickets to all the home games.
You think she's listening? Is that why you're saying this?
No, I just know that it's the case, and I'm talking to you. Oh, that's right. We're on the air, but this is how I talk to you normally.
Correct.
So We're going to Penn State tomorrow. Looking forward to a dry, beautiful evening at State College.
Hopefully, and a win.
And a win for.
And by the way, we're not covering any games next week because it's my anniversary, year number 19, with my awesome, amazing, smart, beautiful wife, Lauren. So I'm going to.
Are you
take
saying
a
that
break.
because you think she's listening?
Oh, she's not listening.
Oh,
But we're going to take a break from the booth for one Friday night, and well, our anniversary is actually Thursday.
so the only one who
28th.
hasn't said anything about their wife on the air is our
Bill.
stat man. So I'll give him the mic here so he can.
I'll say it. Terry, Bill loves you.
From the booth. Rolling to the right is Dugan. Chase from behind. Gets away from the defender. He's at the 10, the 5. He's going to be stopped just short of the goal line with 35 seconds.
They never started the
They
clock.
didn't start the clock. Our clock man fell asleep.
So they're going to get another shot at this.
They should not have. It would have been wrapped up.
Wait.
But it's a turnover on down?
No. That was third down. Timeout. But
Taken
the
by
clock,
the Royals.
it was 37 seconds remaining, and we're only at 34, so no clock there.
And the Royals have a first down goal to go from the 1 yard line. Timeout taken by the Royals. How important is it for them to put points on the board here?
Do they call 2 plays in this huddle so they can hurry up to the line of scrimmage? Because the clock's not going to stop.
And the pass game has not been their thing. Right now it's been about Dugan running. So see if he does it again here, or does he give it to Garvin and try to stretch it to the edge? Like you said, they're going to have to quickly get up to the line of scrimmage. If they don't score, they will be able to spike it if they have to.
No, they can't. Clock will still run on a spike.
True, on
Yeah.
incompletion, because we're in mercy rule. The clock will run. So can they run 2 plays in 34 seconds if they have to? Like I said, right now the game would be over.
Probably. I mean, they probably had enough time to call a timeout, but it definitely would not be in the 30s. It definitely going to be low 20s.
Well, they start the clock.
And that's their last timeout, so they will not be able to stop the clock here.
They're going to spread 2 guys deep to the left. See if Dugan tries to just go straight up the middle against this Milton Black Panther defense. Gets the snap. Nope, he's going to drop back and pass. Being pressured. He's going to get rid of it. Intercepted in the end zone. And taking it out of the end zone to the 1 yard line, or else that would have been potentially a safety. Would have given him points there. But the clock will stop again on the turnover there. And now the Milton Black Panthers trying to get a number on that interception. Dugan with the interception for the Milton Black Panthers, so that ends the threat by the Royals.
No, it doesn't, because the ball is inside the 1 yard line. You can't even take a knee. Milton can't take a knee right now without giving up 2 points. But the Dugan connection there, Dugan passes to Dugan. The problem is the other Dugan's on the opposite team. So Milton with their, 5th interception tonight, Pat?
Absolutely. And Lytle has not gone up under center either. So does he take a shotgun or under center? Because lower snap Lytle has had some difficulties on those snaps. So you want to be careful of that. But you're right. I mean, this is inside the 1 yard line. They got to try to just push forward to avoid what would be a safety. Rhodes will split to the right. Well, the clock's running. 11 seconds on the play clock.
No, they have to run a play. But no, I guess they don't. They're going to take a penalty, which will leave 1 second in the game. They're going to run the game clock off. That's cheating.
So the game ends there on an interception by the Black Panthers to keep the Royals out of the end zone for the shutout. The Milton Black Panthers beat the Royals 66-0. It was 60-0 in the first half. 1 touchdown scored in the second, and that's how this one wraps up. The Milton Black Panthers get their 4th win in a row and improve to 4-1. The Royals fall to 0-5 as they get the win here. 66-0 win for the Milton Black Panthers. Ryan, as always, appreciate the opportunity from the booth as the Milton Black Panthers came out. There was no hangover from the great win against Mount Carmel, no let up, no trap game whatsoever. Came out and put it to the Royals here tonight and win this one going away 66-0.
It's impressive. I mean, this Milton team's for real. And they graduated so many good players last year. You kind of wonder how things are going to go this year with so many new guys, especially, other than the quarterback, but in a lot of skilled positions. And there's been no drop-off. If anything, they look like they might even be better. But You think if they were healthy week 1 and they played that good South Williamsport team at South Williamsport, what that outcome would have been. Could we be undefeated right now? And I don't think it really matters. I think everyone kind of knows that first game has a little bit of an asterisk. And Milton's rolling. They're rolling right now.
Absolutely. Like I said, with all the scoring in the first half, and this is what it looked like in the scoring department as both teams take a knee, get their last instruction from their coaches. The Milton Black Panthers come away with a 66-0 win. And it started with a Bastion 7-yard touchdown run. That was with 7:45 to go in the first quarter. Fisher had a long run to set that up. The extra point was good by Lopez. Panthers led 7-0 with 7:45 to go in the opening quarter. Then Doyle will get in the scoring column on a 10-yard touchdown run. That was with 5:09 to go in the first quarter. Goodwin had a big reception on that possession, setting up that final touchdown run by Doyle with 5:09 to go in the first quarter. Extra point good, and it was a 14-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers. And then Doyle back-to-back touchdown. This one was a 41-yard touchdown reception with 3:08. Diddy had a great punt return. Actually, it was a muffed punt by the Milton Black Panthers, picked up by Diddy. He advanced it into Royal territory and setting up that touchdown drive. Again, Doyle ended up with a 41-yard touchdown reception with 3:08 to go in the first quarter. Extra point good, and it was a 21-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers. And then Milton's senior receiver, Peyton Rarick, would get a 29-yard touchdown reception. On the touchdown reception, he lost his shoe on his cut, so it became the shoeless Rarick into the end zone for the score. Goodwin had an interception to set up that possession. That came with 1:18 to go in the first quarter. Extra point was no good. A 27-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers, and that would be the score at the end of the first quarter, 27-0. Milton Black Panthers weren't done in the first half. Diddy comes racing up, gets the punt return catch, and it takes it in for a score. 32-yard return by Diddy. That was with 11:08 to go in that first half. The defense had a big stop in that, setting up that punt return by Lucas Diddy. Extra point good. 34-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers. Doyle get on the board again. A 6-yard touchdown run with 9:06 to go. Doyle had a big run to set that touchdown run up. The extra point no good, but Milton improved their lead 40-0. And then Fisher, the biggest run of the night, a 91-yard touchdown run with 7:22 to go. That came after a keister interception by the Milton Black Panther defense. The extra point good. It was a 47-0 lead at that point. And then Canelo would get in the scoring column on an 8-yard run. He had a long run to set that up. He would finish it off with that touchdown with 4:08 to go in the second quarter. 54-0 lead after the Lopez extra point. And then Lytle would finish out the scoring in the first half. He took a 16-yard touchdown run into the end zone with 2:18 to go. It was a fumble recovery by the Milton Black Panther defense that set that up. Milton would take a knee on the extra point, but they led 60-0, and that would be the score going into halftime. 60-0 lead for the Milton Black Panthers. Canelo would get on the board again, his second rushing touchdown of the night. This came with 7:42 to go in the third. Interception by Cole Rose set that up. Milton would get on the board again, leading 66-0 following that 18-yard touchdown run. They took a knee again, did the Milton Black Panthers, but again, a 66-0 lead, and that would be the final scoring of the night as the Milton Black Panthers improved to 4-1. They're on a 4-game win streak after the opener lost to South Williamsport 14-0. They now have run off 4 games in a row for the Milton Black Panthers as the Royals fall to 0-5 after coming to Alumni Field and finding themselves on the losing end of a 66-0 loss for Coach Kelly Tyson and the Holy Redeemer Royals. Ryan, dominating performance. We talked about it. One of the things in the pregame, could this be one of those trap games off a great win a week ago? Some would argue that it was the best win in a long time, maybe since back in the district win for the Milton Black Panthers a week ago. You could have a lot of let up. They did not. They came out, beat the Royals here tonight in that first half, streaking out to a 60-0 lead.
I'm going to give you some stats here, but one stat I'm going to give you because you brought it up is Milton has played Mount Carmel now 14 times and has only ever beaten them once. So that was the first time they beat Mount Carmel last week. But getting the stats here for Milton, very impressive night. Cale Bastion only playing the first half, not even the whole first half. He ends up with 120 yards, 2 TDs on 3 completions on 4 attempts. Very, very efficient night for Cale Bastion. Doyle, only 3 carries tonight. Didn't need the big doses of Doyle tonight. He had 31 yards, 2 TDs. Also had a catch for 41 yards and a TD. Bastion, 2 carries, 19 yards and a TD. We go down then to Fisher. Fisher, 5 carries, 151 yards, 2 TDs. Canelo, 5 carries, 73 yards, 2 TDs. Number 18. Who was number 18 tonight?
Lytle.
Oh, Lytle. 58 yards and a TD. So very impressive rushing tonight for Milton. Then the receivers, we said Doyle had the catch for 41 yards, a TD. Goodwin had a 50-yard catch, and Rarick with a 29-yard touchdown catch as well. Milton, 120 yards total passing and 2 passing TDs, 360 yards rushing, and 7 TDs. So their totals for offense, 480 yards, 9 TDs. They did have the Lucas Diddy punt return for a touchdown as well, giving them their 10th touchdown of the evening. And we look over here on the Holy Redeemer side, not as pretty as Dugan had a rough night. He did, though, complete 11 passes of like 20-some attempts. So not a horrible as far as completion ratio, but ends up with only 49 yards and the 5 interceptions. Rushing the ball, Dugan did the majority of the carrying on that. He had 14 carries for 12 yards. And then you had Garvin as well. He had 9 carries for -1 yard. And then McDermott had 3 carries for 14 yards. Receiving for the Royals, not much going there. You just had Dugan, or I'm not sorry, not Dugan. McDermott, he had 4 catches for 7 yards, and DeBascus had the circus catch in the first half for 45 yards, giving them a total of 22 yards receiving in the game. Total offense, 71 yards. So it just complete shutdown. The only stat that went in the favor of Holy Redeemer is they only had 5 penalties tonight for a total of 30 yards. Milton, not so clean, especially here in the second half. 8 total penalties for 65 yards.
Well, one thing in, coaching, as you do, here at Milton in the basketball, you take a game like this, and there's always something you want to feel like you can do better. And the thing that you can probably pinpoint to say, great win, sandwich in a little bit of something that we can improve on, and then again say great win, is kickoff. There was kickoffs that went out of bounds, and in tight games against big-time opponents, you can't have the ball going out of bounds.
Nope.
But the great thing is, if that's what you're narrowing yourself down on, if that's what your only thing that you can find, I mean, one of the hardest things to do as a football coach, and you talk, is when you're winning 60-0 at halftime, you're getting a lot of guys in. To get them in, make sure you got personnel. I mean, you see the coaches on the sidelines going, okay, now you go. And I thought they did a nice job of getting guys in, getting a lot of guys in who maybe don't get times when it's a game like last week, and getting them in, getting them under the Friday night lights and getting that opportunity, especially as you mentioned with the no JV game. So a lot of these guys work all week without even that opportunity.
Yeah.
But tonight they did. You saw Lytle, a lot of quarterback time, a lot of instruction for him, a lot of stuff on film. Talk to any coach. Get it on film so they can watch themselves, see things they need to do better. And then Canelo gets in, gets 2 touchdowns. Lytle gets a touchdown run. The guys up front get opportunity to, do some things that they can be taught and do better. So all in all, just a great night for them coming off the Mount Carmel win, going into Hughesville next week in a game that they will be favored, but again, are going to need the focus they had tonight.
I mean, and I think, honestly, for these coaches, it's almost tougher when you have the big lead, trying to get all these guys in, making sure you're getting reps for your future players. I mean, Milton's going to graduate a lot of seniors and a lot of seniors that are big producers on this football team. So it's very important that you get those guys in. That's tough. I mean, you're getting into the area where you don't really plan for how am I going to get every guy in? But Milton showing a lot of class tonight, getting basically everyone in the game. I also like the way they handled the PAT attempts there late and where they took 2 knees. I mean, just very classy from the Milton football coaching staff tonight on the way they handled things.
Well, congratulations to the Milton Black Panthers in their win tonight. Next week, like I said, they'll have Hughesville, but we want to remind people that From the Booth is not broadcasting next week.
Anniversary.
Celebrating the anniversary, so you'll be off and doing that. But for all those that listen or all those that are going to listen to the playback, we appreciate that. It's great to do this. Great opportunity, a beautiful night, and Milton big win, and they improved to 4-1, looking to go to 5-1 next week and improve on their status within District 4-4A.
Well, Pat, I appreciate you being here tonight, man. I missed that stuff, and when I made the move to Milton, well, it's almost 6 years now. Yeah, 6 years ago. This is my 6th season, and I did it for 1 year while being on staff here, and it was just a little too much, and I wanted to get involved in the Milton community more, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. But I do miss those Friday nights of us hanging out and going eating good food, which we went to Lisa's Milltown Deli today, and man, that was good. That was good. So definitely nice to get back a little bit in that, and loved having you on, and wish we could do more, but you've got a lot of years and a lot of investment in that, and you do a great job. So kudos to you, but glad you can make it tonight. Definitely make the broadcast way better. You're a true professional. So
well, and we're sorry that Nate couldn't be here, but
are we?
Okay, so we're not going to wrap up the broadcast. He
Just
ain't
kidding,
listening.
Nate.
There ain't no way he's listening
Nate,
right now.
we
but
love you, man.
if you're listening, I want to see my phone go off with a text here. But so I appreciate it, Ryan. Great opportunity to come out. We knew the energy was going to be high, a lot of excitement here in Milton, and why not cover this team that continues to raise the bar at what Milton program is. So congratulations to the Black Panthers, and when the booth is set and ready to go, we will bring you Milton football and football from around the area. We're out.